You can measure the size of an elephant. You can clock the speed of a cheetah, but you can't quantify the heart of a kings, queens, and in-betweens. Welcome to Dr. Boxing Talk. Stream starts now.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. If I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
Yo, 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 yo. Good, great, grand morning to y'all wonderful, beautiful people, man. What it do, what it do, what it do. We are here on this Friday. We have a pretty big Friday ahead of us, you know. And we got to be grateful, man. Brethren and sister and boys and girls, prince and princesses, amigos, mi amigas, ladies and lads, kings and queens and everything in between. Y'all know what time it is. The doctor's in the house. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it, man. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me fix something real quick. All right, there you go. Yeah, so we got a couple things to talk about today, man. A couple things to talk about. We have some fights today as well, man. You know, Deontay Wilder's returning. I'm looking forward to that. What else? We got some other stuff. We have Deontay Wilder fight. We have does a Christian and Billy fight tonight as well? Is that tonight as well? There's another fight tonight. Is that Christian and Billy or is that tomorrow? And then tomorrow we have Julio Cesar Chavez. Yeah, tonight is Christian and Billy as well versus Maciej Sulecki, which I'm not too excited about. You know, Maciej Sulecki is a good veteran fighter, but he just fought Diego Pacheco. I don't think he might have fought since then, but he lost to Diego Pacheco. So Christian and Billy and Diego Pacheco are somewhat swapping opponents. But yeah, man, 168. What can you do? 168 is very top heavy. So, you know, what can you do, man? You know, and Ozzy Iglesias just announced he has a fight in September. But before we get to all that, you know, we got to say our prayers. So please join me and bow your heads if you indulge. If not, sit back, have a Coke and a smile, and we'll get right back to it, you know. Please join me, bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for your blessings. Thank you for guiding us to this wonderful day. Hopefully we had a good week throughout. You know, we have a couple more days left in this week. And if we did not have a good week up until this Friday, you know, please let us finish off strong with tomorrow and today as well, Lord. So please let us walk into Friday with a good spirit, a spirit of gratefulness, a spirit of patience, a spirit of love, and a spirit of kindness as well. And we also just want to be thankful for all your blessings that you bestow upon us, Lord. Not only ones that affect us personally, but blessings that we see in others, whether they're family members or children or parents or our friends. Let us be able to wish the best for others. And that's how we would also, reap the benefits of having the best done for us through you, Heavenly Father, Lord. So we ask you to forgive us for our sins and just guide us into this, today and the weekend with your protection, correction, and direction. Through Jesus' name. Amen. Amen, amen, amen. We got Patrick Bamundele. You know what I'm saying? I love that name, man. That's a strong name right there, man. Y'all know nothing about it, man. You feel me? Big up all my African nations, you know what I'm saying? Nigeria, Ghana, Cameroon, all of it, man. Shout out to my guy Patrick Bamundele in the building, man. What it do, man? Let's hit this roll call real quick, man. We got my brother, mi hermano carnal, Oscar Perez in the building. We got my other brother, D1, aka Angry White Man, in the building. We got my brother, Patrick Bamundele, in the building. Let's get right, man. Let's get right, man. Appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Anybody else in the building that's, they on the hush hush right now, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all as well. It's all good. We like the lurkers too. Don't forget to smack that like button if you haven't done so already. I appreciate it. It's free support. You feel me? You know what I'm talking about? Free support. Yes, sir. African bloodline. Strong, man. Strong, man. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know if you know, Patrick. I'm a Nigerian. My father's Nigerian, Igbo, and my mother's Jamaican. And I was born in America, so I'm Jamaican, Jamaican, Nigerian, and American. I don't know if you know that. But yeah, man. So I want to get into some of these topics, bro, and I want to talk about the Haney and Norman situation, man. And you know me, chat. You know how we do. We like to approach boxing from a factual standpoint as opposed to a fictitious standpoint. We prioritize facts over feelings over here. We prioritize being correct as opposed to being first over here. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real in the building. What's good, brethren? Amen, amen. And with that being said, my guy, shout out to my guy D1. He said, I got a dope show for y'all tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, but check out my guy D1, man. Check out my guy D1, man. Always supporting. We always support each other, man. So shout out to D1. Go check him out at 10 p.m. tonight. Good Lord willing. Him and William Old School, man. Old School, the OG. You feel me? But yeah, so when it comes to this Devin Haney and Brian Norman stuff, I'm not necessarily saying this to brag, to be braggadocious, or to pat myself on the back, but I saw all the news that everybody else saw. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to TBV, the Boxing Voice. They do a good job at disseminating news and getting different personalities on the space and interviewing them and letting them get off their perspectives. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a boxer or a promoter or a manager or whatever the case, man. Any capacity in boxing, they usually have them on there, and they actually got two big personalities. You know what I'm saying? One established with Devin Haney, and one up and coming with Brian Norman Sr. And they were going at it back and forth, and they seemingly had a fight in the making, right? And I dropped a video and I said that, no disrespect to Brian Norman or Devin Haney, but I don't think the fight's gonna happen. And I didn't say it because, I want to accuse one of them of ducking. I didn't say it because, I want to accuse them of not being stand-up guys. But we have to understand, man, we are asking for these fighters, and shout out to Devin Haney Promotions. They're independent. We're asking for these fighters to seemingly be open as far as their negotiations go. That's what that was. We just witnessed the preliminary stages of negotiations. You know how many times that happens behind the scenes? With Eddie Hearn speaking on behalf of his fighter to Al Heyman and PBC, or Al Heyman and PBC speaking on behalf of their fighter to Bob Arum and Top Rank, or Bob Arum and Top Rank speaking on behalf of their fighter to Queensberry and Frank Warren. I go on and go on and go on. Or Frank Warren speaking on behalf of his fighter to Oscar De La Ponte and Golden Shower Promotions, or Golden Shower Promotions talking to Ben Shalom and Boxer. So you see what I'm saying? Or Eddie Hearn and Matchroom, whatever. So these things happen all the time. You don't think that Serhii Boachuk knew that Jerron Boots Ennis was getting ready to vacate and go to 154, and they probably approached him about a potential fight? You don't think Speedy Rashidi was probably approached about a potential fight with Jerron Boots Ennis? You think we hear about every single time a fight is going to be made or a fight is talked about? You don't think that Virgil Ortiz is has spoken with some other fighters about potentially fighting him in the 154-pound division. You don't think that maybe he was approached about fighting Xander Zayas before he got locked up with Jorge Garcia Perez? Not even saying that there were serious negotiations, but negotiations to say the least, you know? It's like when we watch any other sport and there's a big trade on the horizon, and before that trade goes down, like KD just landed in Houston. You think Houston was the only team that made offers to KD or to the Phoenix Suns for KD? No, but you hear about the ones that are more serious, right? So what I'm saying is that you got to understand Brian Norman is with Top Rank. So he is with a big promoter, Bob Arum and Top Rank, you know, but they don't believe in Brian Norman yet. You can see how he's moved and promoted. He's not really promoted like that. And if you want to be honest, he was an upset. He went into Giovanni Santillan's backyard and beat him in San Diego. He wasn't supposed to beat him. It was an upset. Arguably one of the upsets of the year. So Bob Arum and Top Rank, they might believe in him now after what he did to Jin Sasaki, but it's not like they believed in him like that. And they're pushing him like that. So you got to understand that Brian Norman Sr., in my personal opinion, I'm not defending either one of them, but I'm just speaking what it is from my perspective. Is like, he's accustomed to speaking up for himself and be like, hold on, man, I'm here. Don't overlook me. I'm here. So he's accustomed to having to speak up and put himself on the map and put himself in the forefront to remain relevant and to make to make sure he doesn't go unnoticed. And same with Bill Haney. That's what he's been doing. These are promoters, bro. So what they did on the Boxer Voice, you could tell by the way they were talking, and Bill Haney would disappear and then come back and disappear and come back, and he'll ask those leading questions. He was figuring out and ironing out the terms live on the interview. And Brian Norman had his people, probably Adrian Clark and the manager, as a manager in the background, probably telling him, hey man, don't disclose this because we're working on this. So that's why he was even open with you, saying, hey, I can't speak on this. I can't speak on this. Brian Norman is a very vocal, expressive person. When do you ever see him say, I can't speak on something? So that should let you know right there, if you're not infatuated with trying to demonize or villainize or be dismissive of somebody or be condescending towards them and call them ducks all the time, then you would pick up these clues. You see what I'm saying? Like, they were literally figuring out what was going on. They didn't know the ring size. They didn't know none of this stuff. None of this stuff was ironed out. So even if Bill Haney really signed like he claimed he did, he probably signed something because it was advantageous for his fighter. And there's nothing wrong with that. And then if Brian Norman Sr. didn't sign, or he did sign, he probably did not sign because it wasn't advantageous for Brian Norman Jr., his fighter. How many times does that happen? There's so many fights that fall through. I mean, case in point on Turkey Al-Sheikh, weren't we supposed to see Terrence Crawford versus Virgil Ortiz a long time ago? Hell, the fight that's coming up now is Zepeda and Shakur. We were supposed to see that years ago, literally last year. They agreed on it, but it didn't happen. It's happening now. MJ Akhmadaliev and Naya Inoue, you don't think that they talked about fights, especially with WBA ordering them? So it's like, when I said that this fight wasn't going to happen, I could tell because of the manner in which things were being carried out. But I also said that people are going to call them a duck, right? If it doesn't happen. Check and checkmate. I called it, bro. You know, so it's not about me being correct, but it is like, you know what I'm saying? Me being right about the fight not happening means nothing, essentially, but it means everything, because it lets you know, it reemphasizes, if you didn't know, that I don't be playing them games, man. I don't say stuff for shock value. I don't say stuff because, I have no clue of what I'm saying. I'm just speculating. I don't say stuff out of emotion, man. I say stuff off of the evidence that's laid there in front of me. That doesn't mean that it's always going to be correct, but that's why I'm usually correct, because I don't get caught up in the passion of it, you know. And I think that a lot of people do get caught up in the passion of it because they have nefarious intentions. I see people calling Brian Norman a duck. Like, how's a man duck? The man literally just fought 2 weeks ago. He has arguably the knockout of the year candidate. No, it is a knockout of the year candidate. He has arguably the knockout of the year winner. That's probably the knockout of a while, man. The man said he couldn't remember anything. Shout out to Jin Sasaki, he's recovering now. But he said he could remember for the last 6 weeks, a month and a half. That's arguably knockout for a long time. You know what I'm saying? A knockout, most impressive knockout for a while. It's like, bro, the man just got out of a fight in Japan. Why would you expect him to have a fight? Why would you expect the turnaround to be so quickly? To happen so quickly, excuse me. And then Devin Haney, he just got out of a fight with Jose Carlos Ramirez. He hasn't even officially had a fight at 147 yet. I'm not saying that these things can't transpire, but you got to understand, Brian Norman, he has expressed the ambition to pursue undisputed. He has a guy that's a champion in Mario Barrios for the WBC on the precipice of a fight against a legend in Manny Pacquiao in a couple of weeks. So don't you think it would behoove him to sit back and see how things play out? I don't think he's going to get a fight with Barrios, because I think Barrios is going to beat Pacquiao. But let's say Barrios loses or Pacquiao loses. Well, it doesn't matter. Let's see the winner of Barrios or Pacquiao. What I think is going to happen, I think they're going to fight Eddie Hearn's guy Conor Ben. That's what I think is gonna happen. But even still, if you're Brian Norman, wouldn't you think it would be advantageous for you to be patient and wait and see how the chips fall? Because you have so many movement with the other titles, you don't know what's gonna happen. And if you want to, and then Pacquiao beats Barrios, that's the biggest fight. No disrespect to Devin Haney. Devin Haney's the legacy fight because of what he's accomplished. He's the youngest undisputed male champion in the 4-belt era. Shout to Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? That is a good fight, and it's the most money fight because he's the biggest star. But if Manny Pacquiao beats Mario Barrios, suddenly that takes a back seat because now you can get a unification, and you can fight a legendary fighter in Manny Pacquiao. So why wouldn't you wait? And we know Pacquiao is a legend, and Pacquiao wants to pursue greatness. Don't you think that Brian Norman would be attractive? Because now Manny Pacquiao at 46 years old could not only be the oldest world champion, but now he could probably be the oldest unified world champion. So why wouldn't you wait? What is wrong with that? And then for the IBF that was also vacated by Jerome Boutinnis, you have Paddy Donovan and Lewis Crocker probably going to fight, ranked number 3 and 1 respectively. You know, Paddy Donovan's ranked number 3, Lewis Crocker's ranked number 1, number 2 is vacant. They might fight for a vacant title. And Brian Norman has already expressed interest in going. He's called himself the Road Warrior, right? So I'm sure that he would express, I'm sure that he would love to go to the UK and probably fight a unification between the winner of Crocker and Donovan. So why? I'm not saying that these things are gonna happen. I'm gonna say, why not wait? Why rush into a situation when everything is undetermined right now, but could be determined in a few weeks if you just chill? You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying that these talks, we just witnessed preliminary talks and people act like everything was just definitive and solidified. I don't know where people get this notion from that these fights just happen on a whim like that. They don't happen with one phone call, bro. You have fighters that are within the same stable, and those fights don't even happen within one phone call. You have fighters that are countrymen, like Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, who came up together in the same division, in the same country. They still haven't fought yet. That's more than one phone call. So why do you think that Brian Norman and Devin Haney would be happy, would get finalized in one phone call in front of us all, that they're not even in the same room? Get the freak out of here, bro. I mean, I'm sorry, bro. I'm not defending the two gentlemen, but you got to understand the business of business, not even boxing, just the business of business. And you got to recognize that you might be upset, but you also have to realize that, come to the realization that you're pretty much stupid. And I'm not going to lie, I don't know who specifically thought that this fight was going to happen, but if you thought this fight was going to happen because of an interview with preliminary talks and they didn't even have the contracts in front of them, they weren't even in the same room, they weren't even represented by each other in each other's face in the physical, then I think that you're a dummy. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I just think that you're a dummy if you thought the fight was going to be finalized. I'm not going to lie. I literally made a video explaining everything and saying that I don't think it's going to happen. I could have been wrong, but hey, I could have, would have, should have, but I didn't. You know what I'm saying? I was right. So shout out to my guy Patrick. He said Bill Haney, you may. Yeah, Bill Haney. I probably misspoke. Thank you. How far my Nigerian bro? Hey, I haven't, you know, I've never been to I still haven't been though. I gotta tighten up, man. I haven't been to Nigeria, man. I need to go, man. I need to go. You know, I have younger siblings. I have younger siblings that went, but I never got a chance to go. I didn't grow up with my pops, you know what I'm saying? He actually lives in Washington. I was just talking to him yesterday though. But yeah, man, I'm hoping to go maybe this year or next year. One of my sisters is getting married, so but she's not getting married there, so it might get postponed until next year. He said, "You're 100% correct, doctor. We witnessed the frustration of negotiations. The question is, should we?" Thank you. The question is, should we be witnessing that? But yeah, I'm Igbo, man. Igbo tribe. My pops is from Owerri State. He said, "I'm not surprised. I was saying in the chat they're putting the cart before the horse." Exactly, because you're smart. I saw you. I saw some of the comments you made, B-Dog and Patrick and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, and I made a video saying that I don't think we should be witnessing this. This is stuff that we shouldn't even be privy to, because all it's going to do is going to backfire. Because, well, I guess in some cases it's good because it keeps your name in the forefront of the news. You know, people are talking about it, and you remain relevant. However, it's going to make some people turn on you because they're already looking to call you a duck anyway. There's people that were already calling Brian Norman a duck because they thought that he ducked from Jerome Boutinnis. You know, they don't look at it as separate entities. People, especially these men, they're infatuated with these other men that they don't know. They're trying to live vicariously through, and somehow they think that, oh, if somebody ducked Jerome Boutinnis, they feel like somebody's ducking them. No one's ducking you, bro. You can't fight, bro. You know what I'm saying? So even if Brian Norman ducked Jerome Boutinnis, he's not ducking you. You know, but it's like as soon as people see somebody speak, they don't even hear them. They just already decided and came to the conclusion on which side they're gonna support. or deny. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm not even mad if somebody called him a duck, but why would Brian Norman, whether you think Devin Haney would beat Brian Norman or you think Brian Norman would beat Devin Haney, why would Brian Norman duck Devin Haney? Yeah, I mean, you can make an argument that Devin Haney would duck Brian Norman. I don't think that Devin Haney would duck him either, but you can make a stronger argument for me, especially right now with Devin Haney's last performance and stuff like that, and the fact that Brian Norman's a bigger guy. I mean, well, he's at 147, and he hasn't really fully been at 147 yet. So I think you can make a little argument there and say that he just called him out for a cloud or whatever, but I don't think he's ducking him either. I personally believe that Brian Norman would win, but I could see Devin Haney. It's not far-fetched to think that Devin Haney could outbox Brian Norman. I mean, Brian Norman is the most fleet of foot guy. If you watch him fight, you know, he's a good, solid guy, cerebral guy. He's young, 24 years old. He's still learning. I think he's getting sharper and sharper every time I see him. But, you know, Devin Haney is athletic. You know, I can't really say that anybody that Brian Norman has fought in the recent memory is as athletic as Devin Haney. And we got to remember too, like a couple fights ago, not too long ago, Brian Norman got put on his back pockets by Boca Chica. There's no shame in that. Well, there kind of is shame in that. I almost lied, chat. There kind of is shame in that, because if you look at Boca Chica's record, I think Boca Chica is like, I don't think Boca Chica won a fight since 2021. And correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Let's look it up right now. I don't think Boca Chica has won a fight since 2021. You know, so it's not bad because Boca Chica, you know, he's a decent sized puncher. He's a decent puncher. But I think his last 5 fights, I think he's lost his last 5 fights, if I'm not mistaken. No. He has a draw and a no contest. Let's look at it real quick. I'm about to pull it up real quick. Let's do it together so y'all don't think I'm capping. So yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4 fights ago was Boca Chica had a no contest, and that was a rough fight. You know, Boca Chica has 4 L's, which is okay. But yeah, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I said 5. His last 6, he hasn't had a victory. I was right. Since 2021, February 17, 2021 is the last time Boca Chica smelled the victory. And his last 6 fights, he has not won. He lost against Roman Villa, you know, who lost to Jerome Bucenis, and he recently got whooped by I can't remember the dude's name. And then he lost to Palmetta, right? And then he had a no contest with Brian Norman. Then he lost to Quentin Rando, who also Brian Norman beat. And then he just lost to Delonte Johnson. So what I'm saying is that, you know, Brian Norman did pretty good. Remember, the fight was a no contest due to Brian Norman suffering a cut from an elbow from Boca Chica, and Boca Chica had a cut from multiple headbutts, you know, inadvertent headbutts. So that's why the fight was a no contest. I think Brian Norman still the one. I think people are exaggerating how bad it was, but he did get put on his back pockets with a nice little mean straight right hand. So it is what it is, you know. So if Boca Chica could do that, I think that Devin Haney has a good chance to win. Like I said, I'm going with Brian Norman to beat Devin Haney, but it's not like, I don't get why people would think that Devin Haney would duck him. I just think that this is more of a testament to how negotiations go. Like, if you go through negotiations with anything, it doesn't have to be in boxing or even sports. It could be in academic, it could be in a job, you know what I'm saying, or any regular job that you have, or anything that where you have the opportunity to negotiate your salary. There's quite a bit of back and forth, man. Like, these things happen. If you're going to buy a car, there should be some negotiations. If you have any common sense about you, you should have negotiations. You don't go with the first price, you know, you try to get that new price. So I just think people are ridiculous, man. I don't know how many times you're gonna go through the same old, but it is content, you know. But people are just dumb. Like, there's no way that you really thought that. I'm not saying that it couldn't have happened, but the likelihood and the chances of that fight being finalized right then and there on the Boxing Voice or any other content creation platform is just ridiculous, bro. I mean, that's as big as it. And I'm respect to the Boxing Voice. It's not their fault. I'm saying that they do a dope job. I'm just saying, why would you think? The people, I'm saying, why would you think that a fight like that of that magnitude would get ironed out right then, and they're not even in the same room? I don't care if the platform was big as ESPN. You don't see deals, you don't see trades going down while one person is talking to Stephen A. and the other representative is talking to Stephen A. and they're discussing it right there, and then the Kevin Durant trade is made on air. When do you see that, bro? When do you see that, bro? I'm curious. Because people are so disappointed in Brian Norman and Bill Haney. When do you ever see anything of a magnitude when it comes to the future of a fight that's going to happen or a trade that's going to happen? When do you see these things get hashed out, broadcasted in real time, and they're not even in the same room? I mean, I'll wait. Because because maybe I'm tripping. You know, that's a possibility. He said, listen, no one is ducking no one. They are just looking at their own interests. That's not ducking. Exactly. Haney always looking for smoke, and Brian Norman Jr. looking to solidify his name. Both have to get exactly. And like I said, I think that why would you even rush it to like I said, I don't think he's gonna get the winner of Barrios and Pacquiao, but you still wait for the opportunity to see what happens. You know, I think Barrios is going to be Pacquiao. I think Barrios is going to fight Conor Benn. That's what I think is going to happen, because if you see, Conor Benn has been on a mission and a tour of begging to get the WBC belt, and he's ranked number 3 in the WBC at 147. That's not a coincidence, and he's coincidentally asking for title shots now that Jon Boots Ennis, the boogeyman, has left 147. He ain't even wait a week, you know what I'm saying, before he started doing that. So that's blatantly obvious that he didn't want to fight Jon Boots Ennis. I mean, it is what it is. Let's call it for what it is. They're both stablemates. That fight is easy to facilitate. They're both on Matchroom, and all of a sudden now, you know, Jon Boots Ennis left, and now all of a sudden he's back interested at 147, and he's not as excited about calling out Chris Eubank Jr. for the rematch. And you know, Chris Eubank Jr. is kind of going through it with the British Boxing Board of Control, BBBFC, due to his use of a sauna mechanism to lose weight for his fight with Conor Benn, you know. So I wouldn't be surprised if Conor Benn fights the winner of Barrios at Pacquiao, but still, you wait if you're Brian Norman, in my personal opinion, and see what you could get, you know, because the WBC belt is there. And then not even to mention WBA. What about WBA with Rolly Romero? He's probably going to get elevated with the fact that Jon Boots Ennis vacated, and Rolly Romero has said that he's willing to fight Brian Norman before. Maybe he get a unification there. Now, if you want to argue what fight is bigger, Devin Haney and Rolly, Brian Norman versus Devin Haney, Brian Norman versus Rolly, or Brian Norman versus the winner of Barrios and Pacquiao, that's debatable, you know what I'm saying? But there are definitely the options, and Brian Norman's in a good position from where I'm sitting. That's just me, though. He said, I trust that fight will happen, but we have to be patient. Right. Patience is a virtue, man. Remember Crawford versus Errol, how long it took? Imagine we could hear all that exchange. Exactly. Bro, Beterbiev and Bivol, how long did that take? If it wasn't for Turkey, you could argue that fight probably still would have happened. Usyk and Fury, how long did that take? Some say my boy, the Gypsy King of obesity, shout out to my guy Tyson Fury. A lot of people said that Tyson Fury never wanted to fight Usyk. He only fought him because of the large amount of money that Turkey was offering. I don't think Tyson Fury was scared, but a lot of people would say that, and look how long that took. You see what I'm saying? So this is just part of it, man. Boxing is not like every other sport where you have a schedule and you know what fight's going to happen or what game's going to take place. It's not a league like that. It's not like the NBA, the NFL, the NHL, the MLB, or the MLS. It's not like that, bro. It's different, you know what I'm saying? It's basically every fight is individually negotiated, even when they're on the same label or same promotion, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, look how long Shakur was with Top Rank. He couldn't get Lomachenko. You don't think that Lomachenko and Shakur had preliminary talks about potentially fighting each other? That never happened. Come on, man. We got to stop it, bro. We got to stop it, man. Yes, please smash the like, man. Smash the like, you feel me? But moving on, bro. Moving on. I want to pull up this Keyshawn stuff, man, because there's been we're gonna keep going with this train of disappointment from the fans, from Doc to the fans. I'm not disappointed because I expected it, but I do think it's kind of corny, man. So let's check out. Wait, hold on. Before I go to Keyshawn, excuse me. I almost forgot about this. We do want to talk about this though. This is funny. Brian Norman and Bill Haney had me crying. This is Brian Norman. Why can't I pause it, bro? Hey. This is Brian Norman and Bill Haney talking. I guess they're talking on Coach Malachi's stream. Yeah, so check it out, man. This is Brian Norman, and please excuse the language, but I gotta let y'all listen because this junk I was crying. Shout out to Bill. This is Bill Haney and Brian Norman. I guess this is when everybody found out. You know, everybody that ain't hip to this channel, you know, this is what everybody else found out that the fight was off. But check out what they say.
Best I heard, we up next. Fuck wrong with you?
Nigga, your mama's a bitch, nigga.
Don't do that.
Nigga, I just did it.
Listen, bro, that came out of nowhere, bro. Brian Norman said, don't do that. He said your mama's a bitch, nigga. Bro, Bill Haney, hey man, nah, he evil for. I ain't gonna lie. If Brian Norman pull up on Bill Haney, he deserve it because that came out of nowhere. But keep it going.
Best I heard, we up next. Fuck wrong with you?
Nigga, your mama's a bitch, nigga.
Don't do that.
Nigga, I just did it, nigga.
You know what? You know what? I'm not even gonna do that because I respect him. You know what? I'm gonna let you have it.
Fuck you, nigga.
Yeah, all right.
And Brian Norman tried to be respectful. He's like, man, you know what? I'm gonna let you have that. I ain't gonna trip. I'm gonna let you have that. I'm gonna let you have that. But then watch as it progresses. Watch.
Nah, the reason I just said I ain't gonna do that because I know what I know what your mama.
Nigga.
Yeah, it's all good. No, it's about the personal shit. I ain't gonna do that. All right, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
Nigga, I don't give a fuck, nigga.
It's cool.
Everybody gotta go, nigga. Everybody.
Candy Slim, brother, forgive me. Hey, forgive me, Candy Slim, because you're right. He went too far. I agree. I think he's wrong. And then Brian Norman pull up on Bill Haney. Bro, that's what I say about these rich folks, man. Shout out to them. I don't know if I could be rich. I pray that I'm rich. You know what I'm saying? I pray that I have abundance of blessings in every aspect. Physical health, mental health, financial health, spiritual health, emotional health, relationship health, everything. I want abundance of everything. I want buku loot because money is a resource. You know what I'm saying? Money is a tool. Money is people say money is evil. No, money is not evil. Money is kind of benevolent. Benevolent if you use it in the right way. It's like a knife. A knife isn't evil, but if you use it to stab somebody, it's pretty evil, right? It can be used for bad intentions, but you can use a knife to slice a steak and feed yourself. You see what I'm saying? So a knife could be used. Money is nothing but a tool. So I want a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? I'm not ashamed of that, you know, but what you do to pursue that money and get that money, that's what's evil. Your intentions to get that money is a lot of times evil, you know, and you focus on that. But what I'm saying is that my point is that a lot of these rich folks, they better than me. Because if I had money like that, man, I'd have been pulled up on you. We in the same tax bracket. I'd have caught me a cheap little flight. Spirit flights are cheap. You know what I'm saying? Frontier flights are cheap. I'd have caught me a little flight right up to Bill Haney, slapped the dog shit out of him. Talk about my mama like that. Nah, bro. And we frequent the same places and the same spaces. I'd have slapped the hell out you. So Bill Haney's definitely wrong. But I will say this, Candy Slim. God forgive me, because I think it's funny. I ain't gonna lie to you. No disrespect to Brian Norman Sr.'s mama and stuff like that. But hey, it's funny, bro. I'm sorry. That's where I'm from. You know, we talk trash and stuff like that. You know, I'm not saying he should say that. And as a grown man, that's wrong. But I don't take it that seriously, man. I'm gonna laugh at it. You know, if it was me now, if I'm Brian Norman, should be mad. He's wrong. And if you see Brian Norman's like, bro, I'm not gonna go there because I know your mama passed away. But then watch by the end of the interaction. We gonna go from the beginning. I'm gonna shut up.
Best I heard. We up next. Fuck wrong with you,
Nigga, your mama's a bitch, nigga.
Don't do that.
Nigga, I just did it, nigga.
You know what? You know what? I'm not even gonna do that because I respect him. You know what? I'm gonna let you have it.
Fuck you, nigga.
Yeah, all right. Nah, the reason I just said I ain't gonna do that because I know what your mama. Yeah, it's all good. No.
Bro, Brian Norman tried, bro. He tried, bro. Brian Norman tried it. And he said, bro, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. But the devil got to him.
It's about the personal shit. I ain't gonna do that. All right, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
Nigga, I don't give a fuck, nigga.
It's cool.
Everybody gotta go, nigga. Everybody that came, nigga, everybody gotta go.
Hey, Bill Haney said one too many expletives, man. He said one too many expletives, and Brian Norman goes off.
Nigga, fuck you.
It's
nigga.
cool. It's cool. Yeah. Fuck you too. It's fuck you too, nigga. And get the fuck out of the phone. I was up there first. Get your bitch ass out of here. Nigga, go spout some motherfucking coke. Nigga, go get your 8-ball, bitch. Bitch, go get your 8-ball, man.
Nigga,
your motherfucking mama, nigga, go dig that bitch up. Nigga, your mama. What's wrong with you? Nigga, your mama.
Bro, he said your mama dead. He said go dig that B word up. I said, nah, okay, y'all wildin'. Listen what Brian he said, look, he went from I'm not gonna do that to go dig your mama up.
Fucking coke, nigga, go get your 8-ball, bitch. Bitch, go get your 8-ball, man. Your motherfucking mama, nigga, go dig that bitch up. Nigga, your mama. What's wrong with you? Nigga, your mama. Stupid ass nigga. Run it, nigga. I'll tell you what, run it. I'm gonna be right in your motherfucking face. You talking a whole lot of personal shit. I'm gonna be right in your motherfucking face, and we gonna see how you fucking acting. Fuck wrong with you?
Nigga, listen.
This nigga doing a whole bunch of niggas and niggas. What we doing, bro? We fighting or we on here cackling like bitch? What we doing? You on here cackling like a bitch right now. This ain't got nothing to do with boxing. Get the fuck off the phone, ho.
Man, fuck you, nigga.
Fuck you, nigga.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I think that's funny, man. It's wrong, but it's funny. And I think Brian Norman is completely right. He said, "Go get you an 8 ball." And I ain't gonna lie, bro. Bill Haney, I'm not gonna accuse him of being on drugs, especially something hard like coke. But I think that's probably justification as to not just because I don't care if you high or not. You should act with some sense. So it's not justification. But he probably was on something. He probably is on something during this interaction because that came out of nowhere, bro. He just said, "Your mama's a." And you could tell the way when he said it, you could hear him smiling, bro. You know when you can hear somebody smiling, you could tell he said, "Your mama's a bitch, nigga." And Brian Norman tried, bro. He tried to keep it cool, but then sometimes people, and that's what I say with the devil, man. You can't let. And I'm guilty of it too. I'm saying it's hard though, but you gotta remain calm and don't let the devil get to you, because sometimes it'll work through other people to try to bring that nastiness out of you. Like, so shout out to Brian Norman. He was definitely in the right, and I agree with him. And but when he said go dig that B word up, you gotta understand, Kenny Slim, bro. I'm not defending it, bro, but I'm from Florida, man, and I ain't gonna lie, this is probably the founding state of where they make diss songs on their ops grave and stuff like that, right there in Jacksonville, man. I think it's crazy, man. They somebody had died, they make a song about it, they go make a video on the person's grave and throwing up signs and all types of stuff on, like, that joke is wrong, man. Shout out to the young folks, but it's something that I see. So it's like an eye for an eye. But what they say, shout out to Gandhi, man, rest in peace. He said, eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. So somebody has to do better. And this is why you don't argue with fools. And this is why you don't have preliminary negotiations on a platform. And because it could go left real quick. You see what I'm saying? Just like that went left real quick, and they both look bad. I think Bill Haney looks worse, but Brian Norman Sr. didn't look good either, and then you regret that stuff, but this is what we ask for when we want to get the inside look. This is what happens, bro. Sometimes there's arguments, man. Sometimes somebody might say something crazy. Sometimes it might get a little physical, and like I said, I'm not justifying it, but if Brian Norman Sr. ran down on Bill Haney, slapped and slapped the 8 ball out his nose, and who could be mad? But people will be mad, say, "Oh, you're immature." Well, a lot of people that say things about people arguing and getting into a physical altercation, a lot of times they some punk pussy ass cowards anyway. So you wouldn't bust a grape in a food fight, So sometimes getting physical is not a lack of maturity. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with being immature. It has nothing to do with maturation. It has everything to do with standing on business and representing yourself well and standing up for who you are and what you will go for and what you won't go for. Because I don't want to live in a world where these punk pussy cowards, fat, sloppy, bad body bitches could sit there and say whatever they want on the internet or say whatever they want to your face. And then when you retaliate, oh, they could play the victim. No, bro. Some things that you say will get you slapped in the mouth, and it should. I don't know what kind of private school that you grew up in. I don't know what kind of suburban area that you grew up in, what type of internet kid you are. But if you say something to somebody, you don't get an excuse just because you're smaller than them. If you weak, you should shut up. If you can't fight, you should not be disrespectful. You should watch your mouth because you could get slapped in it. That's the life. What are we doing? That's just common sense. That's the law of the land. You don't see a gazelle running up to a lion and talking shit, because that gazelle knows that lion will eat its stomach out. You don't see a squirrel running up to a hawk and talking trash, because they know that hawk will put the talons on his head top. That's just the way of the world. That's the laws of nature. So you know your place. When a lion approaches the water hole, the zebra scatters. The gazelle scatters, the warhog scatters. So if you're a warhog, it would behoove you to shut the hell up. Don't be talking trash like you a lion and you're not one. So I get tired of seeing people defending, oh, this person talking trash and they get physical with buzzy. But no, bro, that's not how life goes, man. You be quiet, bro. If you can't fight, you shut up. That's what it is. If you weak, you shut up. You know what I'm talking about? People talking trash about, people are more outraged that Will Smith slapped Chris Rock than they are about police brutality. That joke is crazy to me, bro. You see more people crying that Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, a grown man slapping another grown man that was talking shit. But people are they're so disappointed in Will Smith. But then you see somebody who's freaking committed and sworn in to protect and serve the community, going around killing people that don't deserve it, that are unarmed, and there's no outrage about that. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. You don't want to get slapped, and don't talk shit. Simple as that. Simple as that. Don't want to get slapped, don't talk shit. You know, but shout out to Brian, the Bill Haney and Brian Norman. I wish it didn't go left like that, but it is what it is, man. But yes, move it to people getting physical. Speaking of people getting physical, oh, you a Muslim now? No more dope. You a Muslim now? Shout out one time for Tupac, man. Shout out to my guy Pugilism. Yeah, but build up for this fight is gonna be crazy. I think somebody said that this should be on the undercard when I made the video about it. Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to Cam J in the building, Patrick in the building. Somebody said that this Brian Norman Sr. versus Bill Haney should be on the undercard. I think that'd be dope, bro. And you know Brian Norman, one thing I respect about Brian Norman Sr., didn't he fight the Greg Hackett dude or something like that? I respect it, man, because when you talk trash, have it back and forth, any man that's what men should do. You know what I'm saying? Once you talk trash, you get to a certain point, bet we ain't gotta argue no more. Let's go to the back. Let's go to the gas station after school, 3 o'clock. Let's throw them hands. You see what I'm saying? I respect Brian Norman Sr. and Greg Hackett for not getting outrageous with it, not getting violent with it. They both have a background in boxing. They went in box. Shout out to them. I respect both of them for that. You know what I'm saying? So I know that Brian Norman would do it. Now let's see if Bill Haney would do it with it with his coked up self. You know, he probably got that 8 ball from Jose Benavidez. You know Jose Benavidez. Jose Benavidez Jr. just got suspended and got a no contest for being on coke, you know, during his last victory on the undercard of Benavidez versus Morrell. But yes, moving on, man. The other people that are doing some crazy stuff, man. Walk it like you talk it. You feel me? Walk it like I talk it. Hey, that's my godson's favorite song. But I want to go on to Keyshawn Davis, man. You know Keyshawn Davis, he demonstrated a whole lot of unprofessionalism. You know, he showed a lack of professionalism, showed a lack of discipline, so showed a lack of responsibility and a lack of respect for not only himself but his fan base and his hometown. You know, I thought he was very wrong for coming in overweight and being a little pompous, arrogant, entitled butthole, right? Because the way he acted, not that he just missed weight. Number one, he didn't try because you came in over 4 pounds. But number two, he was very arrogant in regards to saying, oh yeah, the fight's gonna happen anyway. So I salute De Los Santos for not taking the fight under those circumstances. I think that's what you should do, and more fighters should do that more often, you know. But the thing that but anyway, since that happened, Keyshawn Davis has finally come out and apologized. Bill's weapon is his mouth. Yeah, fact. Oh yeah, we gonna pause that. Hey, B-Dog knew what he was doing. Nah, B-Dog knew what he was doing, chat. His weapon is his mouth. Pause. Nah, you knew what you was doing.
No, did he?
Yeah, we gonna pause that. We definitely gonna pause that. He don't use fisticuffs. That's true. He doesn't. That's true. But I wanna get this man B-Dog, bro. This man said his weapon is his mouth. Come on, bro.
What do you mean by that?
Come on, bro. Come on, bro. You knew what you was doing. But yeah, Keyshawn Davis, you know, I was one to say that he should, I thought he should be punished more severely, you know. But this is what, and once again, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but those you can attest to this. I know B-Dog was here when Keyshawn did it and when Ryan Garcia did it, right? My energy doesn't change depending on the person that's doing the action. I always judge the action, not the person. You know, if the person does an action habitually, then I also consider that as well. But when Ryan Garcia missed weight, I thought he should have been suspended before the PEDs. I said that Devin Haney should call off the fight when he came in and missed weight over 3 pounds. When Adrian Broner missed weight against Vicente Escobedo, I said he should be suspended and should be reprimanded. When Gustavo Lemos came in and missed weight by 6 pounds against Keyshawn Davis, I said Keyshawn Davis should not take the fight. And Gustavo Lemos should be reprimanded and punished. And now when Keyshawn Davis did it, I said that De Los Santos should not take the fight. And Keyshawn Davis should be suspended and reprimanded. I keep the same energy. But what makes me mad is that, you know, the people don't, bro. They judge it separately. So let's look at Keyshawn Davis's apology, right? Let's check it out. Shout out to my guy B-Dog. Thank you, B-Dog, for attesting to what I said. Keyshawn Davis apologizes, right? He said, for these past few weeks, I've reflected over my actions and I apologize to everyone that I've affected. I let my supporters down, true, especially the youth that looked up to me, and I will set a better example. Thanks to everyone that's still checking up on me. Hashtag all love, and in the end, the truth will reveal itself. Hashtag God body. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, man. That apology was decent, but the fact that it was on Instagram and then at the end he said, the end, the truth will reveal itself. I don't mind if anybody says that apology was a bunch of bullshit. I don't mind that. but I think every apology is a bunch of bullshit. I think it's nothing but a PR attempt to save face. You see what I'm saying? I also thought every other apology was kind of weak, and I do think that he could have been better if he would have did it in person. However, I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, this is not enough." To me, this is enough. I might not think that it's genuine or it's or he's fully committed to it, but I don't care. The fact that he came out and apologized is good enough for me, because he just fought somebody, Nahir Albright, Wu Albright. You know what I'm saying? Is that apology enough for Wu and Nahir Albright and his team? Maybe not. But as a fan who has nothing to do with it, that apology is enough for me. Why isn't it enough for you? You know what's so crazy to me, right? David Benavidez and his team ran down on Caleb Plant. David Benavidez, Jose Benavidez, and like 3 other partners, right? They ran down on Caleb Plant and his trainer in the gym. They jumped him. They apologized. It wasn't their apology wasn't any better than this. When David Benavidez was on coke in 2018, he apologized. Jose Benavidez just got popped for coke again. So how sincere was their apology? That's why I don't care about the apologies, but I'm not going to judge it and nitpick and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to critique this apology. Is it better than this apology? Ryan Garcia came in overweight. Ryan Garcia came in on the scale of drinking alcohol. Ryan Garcia said some racist stuff about FN words and F Muslims. And then he said he wants to resurrect George Floyd so he can kill him again. Was his apology sincere? Last time I checked, he just headlined an event at being the least accomplished fighter on the card, with Devin Haney, Teofimo, Jose Carlos Ramirez, Arnold Barbosa, Rolly Romero. Ryan Garcia was the head of the event. Not to mention, didn't Ryan Garcia and Teofimo host the Ring Awards? Didn't Teofimo just say something racist? Was his apology sincere? Because since then, he's been saying some more racial stuff. Did anybody judge his apology? But Keyshawn Davis, you want to say, oh, he needs to do more than that. He needs to do more than this. Well, why? Why does he have to do more? So that's what I'm talking about right there, man. It's just like the inconsistencies with the whole boxing landscape of the community. We judge other people. Two people could do the same exact action, but one person we're gonna judge more harshly and critique harder, and the other one we just gonna let slide. That's why I rock with Japan Boxing Commission, because I think that the JBC does a pretty good job. You know, John Rio Casimiro, he missed weight against the American Saul Sanchez. The Filipino John Rio Casimiro, when he fought Saul Sanchez last year, I believe, the American, they fought in Japan. He came in 1 pound overweight. You know what happened? He got suspended for a year. I think that's why I said that I think a precedent should be set. That's why I want Keyshawn Davis to be suspended. Not because I'm extra hard on Keyshawn Davis in particular. No, but it's because I think that that's the appropriate way to approach transgressions and also reprimand these fighters and people in general. So it would send a message to other fighters not to do the same thing. Why do you think Keyshawn Davis did this? Why do you think Keyshawn Davis knew the fight was going to happen? I'm not saying it's solely because of Ryan Garcia, but because he looked at Ryan Garcia and saw, oh, okay, well, Ryan Garcia came in overweight and Devin Haney still had the fight. I just took the fight with Gustavo Limos, and Gustavo Limos was 6 pounds overweight. So if I come in overweight, no problem. Edward De Los Santos, he probably wants the money, so he's still going to take the fight. It's because we don't see punishment that much. So he's like, okay, bet I don't have to really abide by these rules. They're more so guidelines, and it doesn't matter. So when you don't punish these things, more fighters are going to do it. And you guess what? His stablemate, Janibek Alimkanuli, he missed weight against Andre Mikhailovich. He didn't get stripped. You know what happened? The fight just got postponed. And the fight went on like nothing happened. Go look it up, chat. I don't lie. I have no reason to cap. There's no cap in my rap. It's documented. Janibek Alimkanuli was supposed to fight Andre Mikhailovich. The fight got canceled because Janibek missed weight. He didn't get stripped of his WBO title. In fact, it's not only is Janibek and Keyshawn both top rank, they both had the WBO belt. Janibek wasn't stripped. He wasn't fined. He wasn't punished. He wasn't suspended. Nothing. They just postponed the fight and they had it again later. Andre Mikhailovich was very upset about it, but nothing happened. So when you see when you see things happen in similar fashion, then you think, okay, there's no problem. I could do it too. But that's the problem. You can't do it too, because people are going to judge you differently, number one. But number two, there's no consistency. So at one hand, we could blame Keyshawn Davis for his antics, and we should, because he was a terrible representative, especially of a champion of the sport. He made the sport's integrity. He compromised the sport's integrity, the sanctity, the purity, the respect level, all that stuff. He let his people down, so he should be punished. But at the same time, you could kind of understand why he felt like he would get away with it, because he's seen other people do it and nothing happened. So why should he be punished for it? That's probably how he felt. You know what I'm saying? I think everybody should be punished, you know? He said Janibek missed weight so bad he passed out, literally. People are going to say, oh, well, Doc, he was hospitalized. He was hospitalized because he was trying to make weight. It was all rehydration related. It wasn't like he passed out because he was sick with sickle cell anemia. It wasn't he passed out because he had bronchitis. It wasn't like he had an asthma attack. No, he passed out and he was hospitalized because he was trying to make weight and he was trying to cut weight. No difference than what Chris Eubank did, hitting that sauna up. That's why they have these things in place like the BBBFC. I'm not saying that there's some type of righteous, altruistic, good intention entity, but they don't want fighters to use the sauna because it could compromise the welfare of the fighter. You see what I'm saying? So when you go to extreme measures to cut weight, you might get hospitalized like Janibek, like Virgil Ortiz. So when people out here, oh, I feel bad for the guy who lost weight because he was hospitalized. I don't feel bad. It was self-inflicted. Why should I feel bad? It wasn't like he got hit by a bus and was hospitalized. It wasn't like he got hit by a bat inadvertently while he was watching a baseball game. No, he was hospitalized because he was trying to lose weight, because his fat ass needs to move up. Let's not conflate the two. So you could try to be emotional and be sympathetic. I mean, you just seem corny. You just don't know the full story. So you can feel bad for these. I'm not saying that I want somebody to be hurt. Of course, I want everybody to feel good. But at the same time, it's one thing to get sick and be hospitalized because something happened by a mistake. But it's another thing for you to be hospitalized because it was self-inflicted. Because you're literally trying to have an advantage over your opponent by being a weight bully. That's what it is. I have no problem calling Virgil Ortiz and Janibek a weight bully, just like I have no problem calling Devin Haney and David Benavidez a weight bully. Why do you? Why are you so partial? Why can't you be impartial? So it is what it is. Janibek was hospitalized and pulled out the day before. A little different. No, it's not different at all. He pulled out because he was hospitalized. Why was he hospitalized? Because he couldn't make weight. It's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. These are weight related issues. It's the same exact thing. If you want to add your little sentiment to it and you want to add you want to add your feelings to it, then it's different. It's the same exact thing. They both had weight violations. That's where I'm coming from. I'm not saying that it's the same exact scenario to the T. Duh, they're different people. It's different places. There's different. One was a hometown. One was a homecoming, and it's not going to be exactly the same. But the point of the matter is, they were both of the situations due to weight issues. They both didn't make weight. Everything else is the aftermath. Everything else is semantics. It's not going to be the exact. They're not even in the same weight division. They're not fighting the same people. They're not in the same venue. They're not in the same. It's not going to be the exact same situation. But it's all because of weight. That's the correlation that I'm making. If you don't see that, then I don't know. I mean, that's like saying John Real Casimero and Saul Sanchez is different. Of course it's different because John Real Casimero and Saul Sanchez, they actually fought. So it's not the same thing. But John Real Casimero was retroactively suspended because of weight, because he missed weight. That's the point that I'm making. So everybody that misses weight should be punished. That's the point that I'm making. So anything else that you derive from that is you trying to be partial towards a certain fighter. As simple as that. If anything, Janibek was way worse. Facts. Exactly. Ryan and Haney don't have brothers, so why would Keyshawn get hospitalized if he didn't try to lose the weight, dumbass? This man asked me if Keyshawn was hospitalized. Why would Keyshawn be hospitalized if he didn't try to lose the weight? When did I say he was hospitalized? I said that they both missed weight and had the fight canceled. Everything else you're trying to make up. Janibek missed weight and the fight was postponed. Keyshawn missed weight and the fight was canceled. That's the only correlation I'm making. So yeah, you can have that, bro. He said, Oscar said, if anything, Janibek was way worse. Thank you, Oscar. Once again, it just shows you in real time how people act. People take two situations and they make it different because they like somebody or they don't like somebody. Everything is missing weight. Ryan Garcia missing weight against Devin Haney is the same as Gustavo Lemos missing weight against Keyshawn. It's the same as Keyshawn missing weight against Edward De Los Santos. It's the same as Janibek missing weight against Andre Mikhailovich. It's the same as Virgil Ortiz missing weight against whoever he missed weight. It's the same as Adrian Broner missing weight against Vicente Escobedo. It's the same as Floyd Mayweather, and I like that's one of my favorite fighters of all time. It's the same as Floyd Mayweather missing weight against Juan Manuel Marquez. All of it is missing weight. John Real Casimero missing weight against Saul Sanchez. All of it's the same. They should all be punished. Simple as that. From a business point, yeah, we're ignoring you. I don't talk to fools, because this is exactly what I was talking about too with Brian Norman and Bill Haney. When you have a argument with fools, it's hard for the person on the outside to see who the fool is. So you could be a fool by yourself. From a business side, it was a huge gamble leveraging the position and not making weight and feel more comfortable fighting within the 145 VA weight limit for the 135. No, Keyshawn was definitely wrong, bro. He was wrong, but I don't like the fact that people are emphasizing like, oh, he needs to do more with his apology. No, he doesn't have to do more with his apology. Do I like his apology? No, I don't really like anybody's apology. I think it's all just for PR. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that any of it's sincere, you know, but maybe it is, you know, but I don't care. The point is that I've seen a lot of insincere apologies. Why is this one different? You know, there's a lot of insincere apologies. Ryan Garcia's apology was insincere. Every single one of the 1,500 times he apologized are insincere. You see what I'm saying? Everybody's apology is insincere for the most part, unless you show me some real change. You know, you're not apologizing for your action. You're apologizing for the fact that you got caught or you're punished for your action. You're sorry because you were punished. You're not sorry because of what you did. Keyshawn Davis tried to intentionally take advantage of Edward De Los Santos. Ryan Garcia intentionally took advantage of Devin Haney. Whoever else misses weight, you do that. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. If you miss weight, if you miss weight by like 0.1 pounds, if you miss weight by 0.2 pounds, a couple ounces, boom, that's cool. But if you miss weight by 5 pounds, 4 pounds, 3 pounds, then that's intentional, bro. That's intentional. He said we caught riding. I am the tougher critic of my favorite fight. Exactly. I'm a bro. Canelo, Tank, those are my favorite fighters, bro. I will critique them. I thought Canelo should have fought better against William Skull. I thought Tank should have lost points for his knee. You know what I'm saying? We're impartial around here. He said Keyshawn missed the target, took an L, but now 140 is on notice. Yeah. Shout out to Keyshawn. Kelvin demonstrated the grit in a loss, and Keon impressed. It's more concerning that if there's no fighters pursuing to beat any of the three bro. I don't know, man. You think Kelvin is still? I don't know, man. I don't know about Kelvin, bro. Keon might be, but I think Keon has some promise. I was never big on Kelvin though, to be honest. Shout out to my guy Candy Slim dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter.
These biscuits.
He said, give me a second, Candy. Didn't this guy just say didn't he just say that I'm emotional like a girl, but yet he's still in here talking? Let me help you out, bro. I got you, bro. Yeah. Sit your emotional goofy punk behind now. How about that? We put holes in the corner. We put holes in the corner, you know what I'm saying? Since I'm emotional, I don't mind you calling me emotional, you know what I'm saying? But let me earn my reputation, you know what I'm saying? Since I'm emotional, let me put you in the corner. You know what I'm talking about? And mind my emotions, little bitch. We're gonna get you up out of here. Shout out to Candy Slim. He said, wouldn't it be semi-honorable if it was mentioned a few days or week out so both parties could agree to a different weight and show what could go? Come on now, Candy Slim. Come on now, Candy Slim. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Talk to my guy. Man, hey. Appreciate you, bro. I'm gonna read it again. He said, wouldn't it be semi-honorable if it was mentioned a few days or a week out so both parties could agree to a different weight and the show could go on? But you know, people make up stuff when bro, I'm telling you, bro, when you don't like a fighter, everything is wrong. No matter what they do, it's wrong. If you like a fighter, no matter what they do, it's right. You're gonna make an excuse for it, bro. There's literally, if you miss weight, you miss weight, bro. And you should be punished. That's all I said. I didn't say that, oh, this person's going to do this, or this person did this, or this person was in this country, or this person was in this city, or within these limits, or only missed by 3 pounds, or this person missed by 5 pounds. Nothing's going to be exactly the same, but you got to be able to use common sense and deduce what folks are saying. And the correlation that was evident and clear is that when you miss weight, you should be punished. That's it. Everything that transpires after that is you trying to cope and make excuses. Shout out to my guy, Candy Slim, man. Dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter.
These biscuits.
Appreciate you, brother. Shout out to my guy, Unity, man. Hey, Unity said he wants to call in. Yes, sir. Call in, bro. I'm taking calls right now. Anybody want to call in? You know, you can do that and pull up. Yeah, so pull up, man. Pull up. Hey, give me a quick second. Give me a quick second. Let me go check on my dog real quick. I'll be right back, and I'm gonna pull up my guy, Unity, my guy Kendrick, man. I'll be right back, chat. Give me a quick second. I'm gonna run this ad real quick. Let me go check on my dog. I don't know what he got going on. Might need to take him outside. I cannot find the ad, chat. What the heck? Oh, there you go. All right, I'll be right back. No, I can't find it. What the? There you go.
Yo, Doc here from your favorite boxing channel, Dr. Boxing Talk, and I want to officially welcome you as a member to the Boxing Talk family, aka BTF. So I want to thank you. Your support is greatly appreciated, and this channel is nothing without you. So what do you get? Well, there's a multitude of perks that you get access to, like special member shoutouts when you enter the chat, and some other additional alerts. Not to mention these fire emojis. Get access to emojis like the WOAT, the GOAT, the face of boxing, the legend, the Ayo, and the no diddy. Not to mention, you know, the GTD chain. You got to bring them out, and it wouldn't be the same if we forgot about these biscuits. And so many more. Not to mention, if you subscribe to some of the highest tier levels, you get to do things like pick the topic of discussion, and you get to have your very own emote. Yes, your ugly mug will be featured on the channel by yours truly. It's just another way for me to give back to my most loyal supporters. And of course, there's even more additional perks than that. But most importantly, you'll get the satisfaction of knowing you're a key, essential, imperative part to keep us going and growing. You know, we get the hustle off the muscle. So it's important that we rock together, you know? And remember, God is good all the time, and God is good. And you know that we prioritize facts over feelings, so that's why you rock with us. So big salute from Dr. Boxing Talk, and yeah, can't wait to see you in the next stream. Thank you for the support.
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. Nope. If I tell you I'm no good,
my bad.
You know I'm lying.
Yes, sir. I'm about to bring up my guy Kendrick, man. Candy Slim says the sanctioned bodies could also start doing 1 week, 72 or 48-hour weight check-ins to make sure guys aren't too far. Bro, Candy, they don't care. They don't care, bro. That's the thing. They don't care. You. Let me ask you something, Candy Slim. You an intelligent brother, man. That's why I love interacting with you. You think the WBO? You think Bob Arum or the WBO? You think they were upset at Keyshawn missing weight, or do you think that they were mad at Keyshawn for missing weight because he was going to take advantage of Edward De Los Santos, or you think that they were more mad that Edward De Los Santos didn't fight and the event got canceled? They don't care about the welfare of the boxers. So, some do, you know what I'm saying? Some do, but not too many. You know what I'm saying? And Samson Lukowicz, shout out to him. He got respect from me because he pulled this fighter out. And I think that was dope. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Samson Lukowicz. But they don't care. They're more upset that the event didn't happen. They don't care about the fight. They don't care about the welfare, the health of the fighters. You know what I'm saying? That's why I rock with the IBF. I agree with what you just said. I think the IBF, I mean, how many times do we see fighters miss weight? They don't miss it as much in the IBF because they know that the IBF is not going, because it's built in that you have another weight check the day of the fight, and you have to be within that 10-pound rehydration limit, right? I think the IBF cares a little bit more than most, even when it comes to the fairness of giving their fighters opportunities to challenge for the belts, right? Why you think we get like IBF mandatories like Karen Chukazan or Michael Eifert at the Michael Eifert for the IBF at 175, or Karen Chukazan for the IBF at 147, or whoever else that we don't hear of, that we never heard of in the IBF, you know what I'm saying? Get these opportunities, you know? And it happens more often with them that no names get opportunities, but then you look at the WBC, Manny Pacquiao come back 4 years later off of a loss and get a title shot against Mario Barrios. Well, what about the other guys that were in the rankings legitimately or based off of merit? They don't care, man. They don't care, bro. They were mostly mad because a couple thousand people asked for exactly. Yep, that's it right there. They were mostly mad because a couple thousand people asked for a refund. Yeah, facts. They don't care, bro. They don't care, bro. They don't care, bro. That's why it's not going to change. You know what I'm saying? You know. That's why it's not going to. I mean, look at Frederick Lawson. Remember when Frederick Lawson fought Virgil Ortiz, and people were mad at Tony Weeks because he stopped the fight prematurely? But Tony Weeks, and I believe him, I don't know how he obtained this information, but according to Tony Weeks, you know, I'm sure that you saw it too. He was like, bro, I stopped the fight because he was showing signs of brain aneurysms. And some of the doctors actually advised them not to have the fight. That was on the Golden Boy card, right? Obviously Virgil Ortiz is a Golden Boy fighter, but it was a Golden Boy card, and people were mad at Tony Weeks, but he said that the fight almost got canceled by a doctor who said that Frederick Lawson wasn't in a suitable condition to fight. But then Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy Promotions, they got some other doctors to clear him. So that's why Tony Weeks was so quick to call that fight. And I believe him. Now, how did he get that information? Or how do you how can you tell early signs of aneurysm? I'm not that type of doctor. I'm a doctor, but I'm a doctor in engineering. I'm not a doctor in medicine. You know, I have my MD, so I don't know. You know, but that's what he said, and I believe him. You know what I'm saying? They had that event despite the health scares or the welfare of Frederick Lawson. But who cares about Frederick Lawson, right? I'm trying to get that paper. My guy Kendrick in the building. What's good, brother? Appreciate you calling in, man.
Yo.
My guy, man. Long time no hear, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, what's poppin', man?
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling.
You on the golf course with it?
Nah, not today. I got a lot of clients.
Okay.
I'm in traffic with it.
Okay. Making that bread. I ain't mad at it. Let's go. Yes, sir.
But I came to play Martin Luther King to your Malcolm X.
Okay.
So
let's get it, man. I love the chaos. Let's go. Yes, sir. But we on the same side at the end of the day. You know what I'm talking about?
At the end of the day,
yes,
yeah,
sir, yes,
we
sir.
really agree.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. As far as the Brian Norman and Brian Norman Sr. and Bill Haney thing, I mean, yeah, I like the promotion. I like the, you know what I mean, the build up. To me, that seems what it is.
Yep.
Bill Haney is a master of pushing buttons. That's why he's a pimp. And
Bill.
gaslight the shit out of you.
Fact.
But I also disagree with your take on as far as men having to, like, you pretty much said that, like, you don't like the fact that somebody can disrespect somebody and then, you know, play victim, which I understand 100%.
Yeah.
Because there is nuance to that.
Yeah.
But I also understand that idea fucks up a lot of the youth, and then we get little niggas like Keyshawn crash outs, right? Where because they don't have that threshold, right? Their threshold might be different. On top of that, I know you, and I know me, and I know we are into protecting our ladies, right?
Right.
Now, women are the most disrespectful. At the end of the day, when they get in the emotions, you're cooked.
Right. That's a fact.
They go deeper than anything.
Right.
So with that mentality, what it opens up is that domestic violence thing. And I see it all the time with the youth that I work with and stuff like that. So I just want to be careful about how we put that out there, because it can easily get misconstrued.
That's true.
By someone who doesn't have the same level of intelligence and stoicism as, you know what I mean, what we expect somebody to have.
That's true.
That's the struggle, right? And yeah, you should be able to defend yourself as a man. And my thing is, my threshold that I even teach the kids, I'm like, listen, if they ain't threaten you, your mama, nothing like that, then you ain't got no reason to fight.
That's true.
They can talk all the shit they want. At the end of the day, they don't even know them. So what the fuck does that mean?
You're right.
So yeah, that's the struggle, right?
That's the
dichotomy.
Yeah.
Because I want to promote personally stoicism amongst men. Because I think we got too many emotional bitches out here.
That's true. I agree.
And an emotional man is a man that's in jail at the end of the day.
That's a fact. You're right about that.
Or in the grave. So yeah, that was my one nuance. David Benavidez, he's a coke fiend. He should have to Fresh Montana.
Hey man, don't do Benavidez like that, man. You know, he just having fun, man. They just having fun, man.
I'm on his head top, bro. You can have fun after the fight.
Facts.
Fuck out of here.
I agree with you on that. Especially when you get coke abuse as a master agent too. Yeah, no, I agree with you. You're right. Very unprofessional.
Yeah. It's wild. Like, I mean,
I agree with that.
Do you really need it that bad? Like, and then it's coke, bro. So one thing I know, I'm a substance abuse counselor, right? So I understand the metabolism of coke, right, and the way it breaks down.
Right.
So you was doing coke 2 days before this fight.
On that booger sugar, bro.
If that test was on the night of the fight, right?
Right. I'm like you said, I'm assuming that's when it happened, but I don't know. I didn't look into it, so but I would assume that.
That's wild to me. That's wild to me. So you cutting weight, but you sniffing coke to cut weight?
Bro, he cut weight and cut lines, man. What you mean, bro? That's how I go, man. That's how I go, man. Team Benavidez, man. Stop playing, man. Come on, that's what they do, man. Shout out to Benavidez, man.
I mean, he got it from his daddy, I guess, because his daddy looked like a straight up coach. He always sounded like he just finished.
Hey, man. Hey, you know, he be partying with Oscar De La Hoya, man. Remember that? I can remember what fight that was, but they was in the crowd together sitting by each other. And remember because Dave Benavidez had to come out and he was like, he apologized because I think he was drunk and high or something like that. You could tell from his interview, like he was slurring his speech and stuff like that. He apologized like the next day. He was with Oscar, man. Yeah. He was with Oscar. Yeah, man. He was trying to hang with the big boys. He couldn't do it.
We gotta get Benavidez out of Miami, man. He gotta go.
Facts.
He gotta go.
Facts, man. I need the Boston to hold it down, man. I rock with the Boston. I don't want him to lose because he partying too much, man.
You gotta go to Texas or some shit, man. You gotta be in Miami no more, man.
Yes, sir.
But overall, though, one thing I wanted to ask, because I don't know, he got suspended, right?
Jose Benavidez Jr. Yeah, he got suspended, and it was a no contest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it got chased. His win got chased to a no contest against Rosenberg, Danny Rosenberg, I believe his name is, and he got suspended. I don't know how long. I don't remember the duration of the suspension, but yeah, it's probably not significant. It's probably like 6 months, but.
So my thing with that is Bongia suspended? Did we get any word on that?
I haven't got a length. No. I heard that they're still. Last time I see the Munguia stuff is that they're still ironing out what the suspension is going to be or what the punishment is going to be. Excuse me. So I haven't seen anything yet. I haven't seen like if it's 1 year, 2 years, if he's fined, and I haven't seen that yet.
Very interesting.
Yeah, very very interesting how he was punished so fast, right? But I guess maybe because, I don't know. I don't even know. I don't even know. Maybe because the B sample and all this stuff, and maybe they're still pushing for investigation, but maybe gonna try to appeal again. I don't know exactly, but I haven't seen anything as far as the punishment goes. Not yet.
Yeah, I don't know. That seems shaky.
It does. It definitely does. It definitely does.
Because even Ryan get suspended like a week after the B sample came out?
Man, I don't remember how fast. Because remember he had that settlement too, so I don't remember. That's a good question.
Yeah,
he had that settlement, so I don't remember how fast. I think they did though, because I think when he was punished, I think that's what made him. I don't remember. I have to go back and look. That's a good question.
At first.
Yeah, I don't remember. I feel like you're right. I feel like they did, and then he went through the settlement, and that's what prolonged everything. And I feel like he did get punished pretty early. Once that B sample came back.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think you have to look into that. That's a good question. I'm trying to see Jose Benavidez. Yeah, I don't have anything written down in my notes about how long the suspension was. So say it again. Oh, we lose you, bro. Oh, we lost my boy Kendrick. Oh, he said somebody called?
Somebody called me.
Okay. Yeah, so that is interesting.
Yeah, let me back out.
You have to look into that. All right, bro. I appreciate you calling, man. Shout out to my guy Kendrick, man. Call it up, man. I appreciate that. But yeah, man. Shout out to Patrick. He said dunk on that call. Oh, he's back. He's back. Yo.
Yeah.
Okay. You hear you loud and clear now. But yeah, I think you are right about that, man. I feel like the punishment was handed down pretty quickly. Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens with that.
Yep.
I ain't gonna hold my breath.
Yeah.
I'll be dead.
Facts. I'm telling you.
And we got Wilder this weekend, or am I bugging?
Tonight.
Today.
Wilder is at. Christian and Billy is at 6. Wilder's at, I believe that event starts at 9. So Christian and Billy is ESPN. Wilder's on BLK Prime.
That shit, that ghetto shit, yeah, facts.
Ghetto shit. Don't forget to smack that like button, y'all. But yeah, we gonna be live for that too, good Lord willing. Yep.
Copy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man.
Yes, sir.
I got my piece.
I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, have a good one.
Yes, sir, man. You too, man. Handle your business, bro. Enjoy your day, bro. God bless. Yes, sir. Shout out to my guy Kendrick pulling up, man. He said that he slightly disagrees with me, man. I'm not mad at that. Like you said, you want to add some nuance, and I love that, man. Love the conversation. And shout out to Patrick. He said that's a great call. Shout out to Candy Slim. He said, well said, brother. He said words have gotten a lot of our folks doing football numbers or pushing up daisies. That's a fact. You're right about that. And that part I can't disagree with, you know. I still maintain. I love how he introduced his side of the argument. It's like the Malcolm X to the Martin Luther King. And so for those of you that missed that reference, you know that Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, they wanted the same thing. They wanted liberation for Americans, right? For all Americans. But they went about it in different manners. One was more aggressive and militant, if you will. The other one was more peaceful and diplomatic, you know, that being Martin Luther King being the latter and Malcolm X being the former. So I agree with them. I can't disagree with that, you know. However, I still maintain that I don't think getting physical. So I'm not saying, okay, so I want to be very clear too. So shout out to my guy Kendrick. I'm glad that he brought this up so I can expound upon this a little bit more and elaborate. I'm not saying that if someone calls you stupid, you should punch them. I'm not saying that. I'm not advocating for that. I'm not being an apologist for anybody who does those types of things. So I'm not saying, oh, Doc, you stupid, I should go punch him. No. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that I do think that there's a line and there's a threshold that can be crossed, especially if you are in the same vicinity as the person. So I'm not saying that, oh, someone calls me dumb on the internet, then I should go track them down. No. I'm not saying that. But if somebody talks about, you know what I'm saying, a loved one or something that's near and dear to your heart, or somebody that means a lot to you, I'm saying that I'm not gonna be so hard or not understand the position that the person who is being berated verbally is in. You know what I'm saying? I do think that there's some words. I mean, let's face it, right? And I know this is different, right? Because we look at things differently, but wars between nations, how do they start? It's not President Trump going to fight Vladimir Putin. It's the fact that they disagree with something and they have words and those words lead to war. You know what I'm saying? It's a little different. You know, I get it. So I agree with Kendrick 1,000%. You know, I do think that we should have I think the perfect word for that is discernment. You know what I'm saying? We should know when to hold them, like Kenny Rogers say, and know when to fold them. You know, so I'm not advocating that everything deserves, because you will get a Keyshawn situation where I don't know what Nahir Albright said to him. Maybe Nahir Albright, aka Wu, said something crazy to Keyshawn, and the fight's already over with. Maybe that's why Keyshawn and them ran down on him. I don't know. That's not justified though. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what was said, so I can't say for sure, but I don't think that was justified. So I don't want to make it seem like I'm saying that, oh yeah, anytime somebody talks trash, you go run. No. That's not how that's not how it works. But so I agree with what Keyshawn said. I do think that there is a fine line. And I do think also that if someone does, like Bill Haney said something about Brian Norman's mom, I'm not saying I'm applauding Brian Norman for not doing anything. I'm just saying that everybody doesn't have that ability and that discretion to not do something. You see what I'm saying? So I guess what I'm saying is that if he did do something, I wouldn't be mad at him. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But no, Kendrick is definitely right. And I love the fact that he came on here and made that call, man. That was very important. So shout out to Kendrick. He said, "Nah, let me take that back. Don't get on my man Benavidez like that." Facts, but shout out to my guy Dave Benavidez. I like Dave Benavidez, man, but he just has to do better, you know. But he's a beast of a fighter. Train smokes a lot. Said Keyshawn was scared of De Los Santos. I mean, I don't think that's too far fetched. You know, I think anytime you come in overweight, or you try to come in with a significant advantage, I think that it shows that you're not fully confident. I don't know if he's scared, like he's afraid, like he's gonna duck and hide if De Los Santos was there. I wouldn't say that, but I definitely think that he wanted an advantage. I think that's what everybody that comes in overweight, they want a significant advantage. So I would say that's a form of being afraid, or a form of lack of confidence in yourself. You know what I'm saying? I do agree with that. But not that I want to say scared, like, oh yeah, man, I don't know what to do with De Los Santos. I don't ever want to see him in the street. No. But I do think that he was, it does demonstrate a lack of confidence when you feel like you have to give yourself an extra advantage. So yeah, I agree with that. I think that anybody that's jeopardizing their health, or compromising their health in order to blow up on fight night, you know, and potentially being hospitalized trying to make weight, I think that you will have a lack of confidence in yourself. So you could take that for what you will. I think that goes for anybody in boxing that does that. He said, "Can you ask Kendrick if he still does?" Shout out to my guy Clone in the building. He said, "Can you ask Kendrick if he's still ducking? I noticed he hung up once I pulled up." Man, chill out, right? Nobody ducking. You support ignorant actions. Now you talk about don't run down. You support Will Smith. Don't backtrack now, fool. I'm not back. I definitely support Will Smith. Hey, well, I support Will Smith 1,000% for slapping Chris Rock. Nah, I'm not saying, but don't misconstrue what I'm saying now, Clone, and don't lie now. I never said that Will Smith was right. I saying that I don't think he committed a crime. Like people act like, oh, he was just the enemy of the state. Like, isn't that funny that he had a movie called Enemy of the State with Gene Hackman, I believe. Rest in peace, Gene Hackman, by the way. But I don't think he was the enemy of the state because he slapped Chris Rock. I mean, hey, if somebody talk trash and you, hey, depends on how you want to handle it, man. What I'm saying is that I don't demonize. People are different. People come from different places. So sometimes they will handle it differently than maybe you would or I would. So that's what I'm saying. I never said that Will Smith was right for what he did. I just said that I'm not going to say he's definitively wrong. And I know people might say, oh, yeah, well, if you're saying somebody's not wrong, that means you're saying they're right. No, not exactly. I'm saying I don't know what the appropriate action would have been. Do I think it would have been appropriate for him to just sit in the crowd and let somebody talk about his wife? And if he didn't like it, no, I don't think that's the appropriate thing either. It's like Jordan Poole and Draymond Green. Was Draymond Green right for punching Jordan Poole in his mouth? I'm not gonna say he was right, but do I think it would have been appropriate for him to let somebody talk trash and say whatever they want while he's in the same vicinity of him? I don't think that's right either. You see what I'm saying? I don't know what the answer is. You know, I'm just not going to kill somebody because I would do it or I wouldn't do it. Like there's gray areas. Everything's not just black and white. There's gray areas. You know what I'm saying? And plus it's at practice. How many times you play sport? I play sports in high school. I play track. You know, I ran track. I play basketball, I play football, every sport, bro. I mean, sometimes that happens. You know, there's a lot of testosterone, a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions going, you know what I'm saying? A lot of energy. And sometimes it ends up in a scuffle. I mean, that's just that's sports, man. You know, like, and people expect, that's why I say with Keyshawn was wrong for jumping to hear Albright. But I don't think it was anything that I've never seen before. Like, oh yeah, this is just the worst thing that ever happened. No, we seen Team Benavidez jump Caleb Plant. We seen Caleb Plant and his team jump that one guy that's from Egypt, that Egyptian boxer. You know what I'm talking about, Patrick. It was Caleb Plant and his entourage. They were stomping out that Egyptian boxer. What's the difference? I'm saying they're all wrong, but I'm not going to act like Keyshawn Davis was just worse than anybody else's that I've seen. These guys are pugilists. I'm not giving them an excuse to fight because that's their profession, because you should show discernment. But at the same time, these are people that are accustomed to handling their business with these. We cannot act like, oh yeah, well, these guys are preachers or they're philosophers or they're scientists or they're guys that usually talk their way out of a situation. So if they're in a situation and they get physical, I'm not saying that it's right, but what I'm saying is that I'm going to approach it with a little bit more understanding because this is what they're accustomed to and this is what we want them to do. So it is what it is. You can't have your cake and eat it too, man. You can't want them to be a pacifist and a super warrior at the same time. That's what I'm saying. Okay, just making sure you stay honest. I appreciate that, Chloe. Appreciate that, bro. He said, I know how you do. One day you Martin Luther King, next day you Wolverine. Hey, that's true. Hey, man. Hey, man. Hey, I'm human, baby. You know, I might feel hot on Tuesday. And on Friday, I might be a little bit more simmered down. You feel me? I might pray for you on Friday. But you catch me on Tuesday, I might go upside your head top, you know? You know, hey man, sometimes I listen to Michael Jackson, PYT, and sometimes I listen to Sada Baby. You feel me? You know, I'm human, baby. I got emotions. You feel me? You know. Sometimes Tupac will sing "Brenda Got a Baby." Sometimes he'll sing "Hit 'Em Up." You feel what I'm saying? It's still Tupac. It's just it's just a different day. But yeah, man. Speaking of that, man, I also want to say, shout out to Keyshawn Davis. Shout out to Kendrick for pulling up. Shout out to my guy Patrick. I think Patrick's in the background. Shout out to him, man. We about to pull up my guy Patrick. I see him in the back. Yes, sir. My brethren from the UK calling in. Hey, Clone, man, I'm gonna need you to call in today too, bro. Because I know you got some stuff you want to say. I'm gonna need you to call in, man. The lines are open. We got Patrick in the background. I'm about to bring him up now, man. Patrick in the building. What's good, brethren? I think he's there. He might be. You muted. He might be doing something right now. We said,
you hear me?
Yes, sir. I hear you now. Yes, sir. Loud and clear. Yes, sir. Hey, but I want to make sure, Patrick, you have, you have access to the other voice channel that says BTF members only chat. You should have access to that now. So, you could just sit back there. I mean, you could go in the waiting room too, but like sometimes, let's say Ty or Kendrick, who was just on, they'll be in the back there chopping it up, whether I'm live or not.
Where's that, sorry?
It's right under. It should be right under this one. You should see a voice channel that says BTF members only chat.
BTF members only chat.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So yeah, that's
okay,
So when you're a member on the YouTube, you get access to that chat, and sometimes people will just be in there kicking it in the back. whether I'm live or not. And then the better, why that's better than the waiting room is because in the waiting room you can't talk, but in the BTF members only chat, if there's people back there, y'all can chop it up too. And sometimes people just be in there.
Talk, you can still voice talk on the BTF
yes, sir.
member.
Yes,
all
sir.
right, okay.
Yep.
Thanks for letting me know, Doc.
Already, yes, sir. I appreciate you, man. That's the least I could do, man. Someone showing me love and supporting the channel, man. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
Oh, for sure. You're doing your thing, man. Appreciate that.
Bro. Thank you, bro.
No, you're doing a good thing.
Thank you, Doc.
And hey, man, I just want to talk real quick about the Keyshawn thing.
Yes, sir. Please do.
Listen, I agree what you're saying about like a lot of things happens in different places and we don't it's not like heard as a high profile, so we don't hear it as much, but it always happen. My problem with that one that Keyshawn was specific for me, because what I felt is like, and I don't know what Albright said to him. He probably said something wrong that we don't know. Like, there's always something beyond things that we don't know. So, as I always say, when there's an argument of things, there's always different people. So there's always different side of the story.
Facts.
So someone's going to tell you something, someone else is going to tell you something.
Yep.
Who's right, who's wrong, only God knows.
Only God knows.
Now,
talk to him.
And now, what is a fact is that Albright had his fight.
Yes.
So he fought.
Yes.
So technically, he done his job.
Yes.
He was there, doing his job. And when the fight happened, he's tired. He's like, the job is done. As a profession performance, and then you shouldn't go at someone who's just done his job, tired. Like that. Basically, gave all his energy, and then you jump on him. That's
I agree.
The problem I have.
1,000%.
I can understand like before like a training session or before this, like people get the energy is there. Like everybody's like on the same energy level.
Yep.
And things happen.
wavelength.
Even though it's wrong, but I can still understand that. My problem with Keyshawn, things happen when the dude is like, he's got no more energy, bro. He's just letting everyone in the room.
He took advantage of the
saying?
situation. Yeah, I agree.
Like that. First of all, it's wrong to do it, but at the point that it was the time when you actually did it, it's even worse.
I agree, 1,000%.
And the part that I agree with Kendrick, or maybe I don't know if he exactly said that, but it definitely needs to be a suspension or something, because you cannot set a precedent, because otherwise he sets a precedent for the people.
Yes.
So Keyshawn did it. Why this is happening to me and I'm having that type of no. You set a precedent, so no one like dares to do it, or when they dares to do it, they will face the consequences.
Yep.
So
I'm gonna take my credit though. I said that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna let you give away.
I heard you saying that. Yeah.
Trying to give it to Kendrick. No. That's me. That's me right there, baby. No, I'm playing. Go ahead.
No. You definitely said it.
Yeah,
definitely said it.
I agree with that. 1,000%. He should be punished. He should be. Yes.
The only part that distinguishes that Albright was like a tired man. He was like, you know what? I have nothing now, nothing left. Just feel a bit of energy to celebrate. You don't jump on a man that's kind of down. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
it looks even weaker. I agree.
That's the problem, and especially on the professional platform.
Yes.
So
yep.
That's
and you didn't fight. and Keyshawn didn't fight. Yes, I agree.
And on top of that, he messed up before, so he it's like a building. Yep. That was really wrong.
It was really bad, bro. Really bad. It was what they called it, a snowball effect. Yeah, it was just like he was
snowball effect. Exactly.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I agree.
I'm
so glad you called in. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, for me, he really has to to get punished. No, I'm not. It's not because I hate or dislike Keyshawn. No, it's for the actual community to when this happening, we try to get people, the kids out of the street to out of fighting each other in the street and keep have a certain discipline. That's what boxing is supposed to be about. It's having discipline, training, and building yourself as a man and as a professional and as a decent person. So if you take that away, that's not boxing anymore. You know what I'm saying? That becomes beat, and that's not what we want.
Yeah.
So that's
not
have
facts.
And trust me, I have to tell that to you. I love Keyshawn as a fighter.
Mm-hmm.
I love the dude. The dude, like, you know, he talks his thing and all that, but as a fighter, he's a man. The dude is a you know, he's a decent fighter. So,
Yep.
but once again, if you tough, if you like, if you really like a fighter, then you have to tell him the truth how it is.
Yes.
Don't protect him.
Absolutely.
You have to like tell him like how it is, and that's the way you help him.
Yes.
You're not helping by protecting.
Nope.
You tell how it is. You criticize,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's the man to, like, you know, he's gonna take his he's gonna, you know, agree or not agree, but at least you told him what you feel.
Right.
As a, you know, it's like when people say, like, you know, like, don't tell your friend that he's doing something wrong. But you know, a friend, if you tell him or her how it is. So that's my point about Keyshawn, man.
I agree with
but
that.
I'll let you go with your
Man, I appreciate you calling, bro. I'm so glad you did.
Show, bro.
Yeah, I'm so glad you did, because that's a good point, man. I agree with that. I'm gonna expound upon that.
Yeah, man. I'll pull up on you again sometime.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate it, Patrick. Yes, sir, man. Thank you, bro.
Have a great health, bro.
Hey, you too, man. God bless. Shout out to my guy Patrick, man. Yes, sir. I agree with him 1,000%. I'm so glad that he called in and said that, because check this out, man. What he just said is absolutely right. So I want to be very clear again. You know, I think that Keyshawn should be punished, and I like Keyshawn as well. I'm not a big fan of Keyshawn like that. You know, he hasn't been around long enough for me to be a super like a huge fan of his. But he's decent, right? You know what I'm saying? And I think he's a good fighter. You know, but I want to be very clear on that too. I'm with Patrick 1,000%. I think he should be punished, and I don't think that part is being unfair to him. I think it's being fair, because even if I think a precedent needs to be set, like Patrick was saying, and like I echoed before too, is like, don't get me wrong, I'm not defending Keyshawn in this situation. I'm not saying that what he did was okay. What I'm saying is that it's nothing that we haven't seen before, and I think he should be punished just like I thought other folks should be punished. You know, my issue is with the people that acting like, oh, this is unprecedented, we never seen this before, like he's a trailblazer of violations. No, he's not the trailblazer of violations. Keyshawn Davis should be punished, and I agree with Patrick 1,000%, and I think that he should be suspended and fined. You know what I'm saying? On top of him being stripped, you know, but we've seen fighters. That's why I gave the Janibek example. Janibek was not stripped. That's the point that I'm making. You know, I might get lost in sauce. We see Ryan Garcia wasn't exactly punished for missing weight. He was punished because of the PEDs, and Gustavo Lemos wasn't really punished for missing weight like that. Not with any severity, you know. But that's why I brought up John Riel Casimiro. He was by the JBC, and that's why I said that we should have like a United Nations of boxing, to where everybody adapts the same policy when it comes to missing weight and having PEDs. You know what I'm saying? Because over here in America, it's like the Wild Wild West. We don't care about you missing weight like that. It's just like, oh, okay, whatever. In fact, we will condemn the fighter that follow the rules and say, oh, you're weak for not taking the fight, and you still should have took it anyway. Who cares? The guy missed weight. No, in Japan, you miss weight, you will get punished. That's why I brought up John Riel Casimiro and Saul Sanchez and Luis Nery and Yamanaka and all those guys. They get punished when you miss weight. So I agree with Patrick 1,000%. And then I even want to double down on what Patrick said in regards to him jumping to here Albright. It is worse because he jumped him after he fought. Like, when you trash talk, that's cool because it builds up the fight, right? It builds up anticipation for the fight, builds up intrigue. But then once you fight, it's supposed to be over with. Like, that's the professionalism of boxing, right? That's the brotherhood of boxing. But then they jumped him after it, and Keyshawn already had the violations of missing weight and having his fight canceled. But then you could also argue, and I'm not giving Keyshawn an excuse right now, but I'm saying that you could also argue that because it was a snowball effect, now he has emotions. He's mad that he missed the fight. Everything's bottled up. So he was looking for an outlet, you know, and an opportunity to get his frustration off. And it's wrong, because you should have for your team that's a little bit more mature, you know, a little bit more experienced, a little bit more savvy, and a little bit more calming, instead of being a yes man and be like, hey bro, you gotta chill, man. Even if it means Keyshawn, you can't even be at the fight right now. Maybe he should have been removed from the venue, you know, just because he was going through all these emotions. But when you have a lot of people around you and they're all there for you and everybody's in agreement with what you do and a yes man, then it's kind of hard for you to exercise good judgment. Once again, I'm not giving an excuse, I'm just saying that's what it is. So I think that was just what we saw with him jumping to here Albright. Like Patrick said, I don't know what was said. He already articulated that, and I agree 1,000%. I don't know what Wu said, but for me, and I know that it's kind of contradictory to what I said about Brian Norman and Bill Haney, but it's circumstantial, right? In this scenario, I agree with Kendrick and Patrick 1,000%. I don't even care what Wu said. First of all, I don't think he doesn't seem like that type of person. I mean, the man has a mixtape. He out there singing like Usher and Neo and stuff like that. So I'm not saying that you can't be a singer and talk trash, you know, look at Trey songs, but I'm saying that he doesn't give off that energy. So, but even if he did say something crazy, I don't care. The fight is over with. You can't come back there and just and put the beats on him while he tired, bro. He tired, bro. Like Patrick said, him tired, boss. Him tired. He gonna get in the fight. He beat your brother, and then you and your other brother come and jump. No, bro. It just looks bad. So that's why I think even more so that he should be punished. But then I also question like, dang, why all Bryce T? They could have locked the door. Y'all could have locked the door or nothing. You ain't had no lookouts or nothing. You gonna get jumped after the fight. That's why I laughed about it initially. But yeah, no, I agree with everything Patrick said, man. He's right on the money. I think Kendrick should be punished. Kendrick, sorry. Not Kendrick. Shout out to Kendrick. Keyshawn and stuff should be punished, you know. But what I don't like is the way people are critiquing the apology like they want more. What do you want him to do? He apologized, bro. It is what it is, you know what I'm saying? But was he wrong? Should he be suspended and punished? Absolutely. I think those are two different things, you know. I'm definitely not defending him at all. But yeah, shout out to Patrick and shout out to Kendrick for calling in. Shout out to my guy Ty Morissette in the building. Yo, is it just my YouTube, or did they switch up the usernames on the YouTube? Like, shout out to my guy. He's no longer Ty Morissette anymore. He's Ty Ain't Gonna Eat No IHOP. Shout out to my guy Kendrick. He's no longer Kendrick Daly's Unity KD. So they're recognizing you by your different username now. Like because I know like when you comment on YouTube, you have your username, and then you have your that's another name, like your email or something like that. So now they're recognizing you by your other one. YouTube switched it up on my side. Well, but yeah, Ty said pack him up for a little bit. I agree, pack him up. Yeah, because and that's the thing too. Like Patrick said, you know, and what Kendrick said too. It's like we shouldn't be this way as far as we should let words go. But we know that, you know, a lot of us know that sometimes things get street a little bit, and it shouldn't be. But now with Keyshawn, you think Keyshawn could go to Philly? I don't care what Nahir Albright does. Nahir Albright could be the square. I'm not saying he is a square. I'm saying he could be the squarest, most L7 dude ever. But now you disrespected Philly because he represents Philly, especially when he's out of town. You never see people come together like that until you go out of town, right? Like for example, I'm just, and this is just a whole nother situation, right? Engineering. I was at an engineering conference in Washington. Everybody that was from Florida and from a Florida State University, Florida A&M University, UF, they all sat together. People that were from Michigan, they sat together because now we have a commonality that we're going to stick together with. You know what I'm saying? If we're in Florida, you think FSU going to sit by the Seminole going to sit by the Rattler going to sit by the Gator going to sit by, no, by the Hurricane, no. But when you're out of state or you're out of country or somewhere, you're going to come together. So my point is this, like, right now there's people that don't even know Nahir Albright. Oh, but they know that he got disrespected. They know he represents Philly. So now if Keyshawn Davis or anybody that represents Team Davis from Carolina, they might be in a little trouble now because that's just how things go sometimes. I hope it doesn't go to that. I'm not saying it definitively will go to that, but it could go to that. And that's why I think I agree with Patrick and I agree with Kendrick. And I said it before that he should be punished because you don't want things to go beyond the scope of boxing, you know what I'm saying? And that's where unfortunately it can go, you know, when you think about situations like this. So yeah, he said it's just on yours. I just went to someone else's and they had my usual name. What the heck? Oh Lord, bro, why they always doing experimentation with my stuff, man? Why they doing me like this, Ty? Hey, you two don't rock with me, bro. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, shout out to everybody that's in the chat right now, man. But I love different opinions. I love everybody talking. But if you're coming up here trolling and you coming up here talking crazy, we gonna pack you up like my guy Ty said. Especially if you have a history of saying some insensitive stuff, especially discriminatory stuff, like that person I packed up. So I should say that too for those of you that are watching. I packed that guy up because he has a history of saying some nonsensical BS. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we got him up out of here. Not because he just disagreed. No. I should have said that earlier, but I forgot. But yeah, speaking of, I want to switch gears a little bit, man, unless anybody wants to call up on those topics. I also want to say that Wilder, just in case anybody missed the video I dropped, they tough on me, bro. Wilder has got rid of Malik Scott. Can we clap it up for that? Can we please clap it up for Deontay Wilder finally, like The Rock will say, The Rock has come back. Can we clap it up for Deontay Wilder finally making a good decision for his career? You know what I'm saying? He finally got rid of Malik Scott, but I think it might be too little too late, you know? Deontay Wilder is 39 years old with almost 50 fights. I think he has 48 fights to be exact. And now, granted, Malik Scott was only there for 4 fights, but those 4 fights lasted since 2021, right? A span of 4 years now. His first fight with Malik Scott was against Tyson Fury. He lost. His first fight with Malik Scott was a last fight of the Tyson Fury fight where he lost in 11 rounds. Like I said, there's no shame in that, right? Tyson Fury is a good fighter, so maybe Tyson Fury would have beat him anyway, regardless if he was training. Whether he was trained by the late great Nazim Richardson or the late great Manuel Stewart, or trained by Freddie Roach or Robert Garcia or Bomac, maybe he still would have lost to Tyson Fury. So there's no shame in that. However, when you go forward and you lose to Joseph Parker, you also lose to Zhale Zhang, and then you only beat Robert Helenius, and then if you look deeper into it, you realize, hold on, check the records. Oh, Robert Helenius, you have a familiarity with Robert Helenius because he was a former sparring partner. Then it's like, okay, now you're 1-3 in your last 4 fights with Malik Scott. It just looks a little shaky, you know? And like I said, it's not about him losing to even Joseph Parker or losing to Zhale Zhang. Okay, cool. Maybe he would have lost anyway. But it's the way that he lost, the fashion in which he lost. He got spun around and did the Booker T spin-a-rooney against Zhale Zhang. And then against Joseph Parker, he barely threw a punch. Me and him threw the same amount of punches, and I wasn't fighting. You see what I'm saying? So, like, it's the manner in which he lost, bro. So I just don't feel like Malik Scott did anything to progress or develop his fighter in Deontay Wilder. And, you know, if I don't see any improvements and you look bad or you look arguably worse, then I think it's time that you make a change. So I salute Deontay Wilder for finally making a change. Is it going to be enough at this point of his career? I don't know. Is it going to be significant? Is it going to be consequential? I don't know. It might be inconsequential. It might be insignificant. But I think it's worth noting that he's doing something. You know, he's going against Tyrrell Herndon. Tyrrell Herndon, no disrespect to Tyrrell Herndon, but he's a pedestrian fighter at best. Patrick says it's too little too late. I agree. I agree with that, you know. But, and this is, like I said, no disrespect to Tyrrell Herndon. I think there's a place for every boxer. You know, I don't think that if you're not a champion, you should be kicked out of boxing. No, I think there's places for every boxer. But the fact of the matter still remains that Tyrrell Herndon is, he does have 5 losses. 4 of them were stoppages, right? He lost in the first round to, 2 of them were first round stoppages. He lost in the first round to, I can't remember the dude's name that beat him. And then the other first round was to F.A. Ajagba, other first round stoppage. And then he lost in like 2 rounds to Richard Torres Jr. And then he also had the DQ loss to Brandon Glanton. You know what I'm saying? Those losses are to guys that wouldn't have a chance against the Bronze Bomber, in my personal opinion. And no disrespect to them, it just is what it is. So my point of saying that is, regardless of who Deontay Wilder's trainer is, he should be able to beat Tyrrell Herndon tonight, you know? And so if he does, I'm not going to necessarily attribute that to Malik Scott not being there if he wins. But if he loses, man, I already think that Deontay Wilder should hang him up. And, you know, I think that if he loses, he should definitely hang him up, but we'll see, man. I'm going with Deontay Wilder because I'm gonna be honest, the only fights I saw with Tyrrell Herndon was him losing, you know what I'm saying? So I have no reason to go with Tyrrell Herndon. I don't have much of a reason to go with Deontay Wilder either, but that's a good enough reason for me, and I'm going with Deontay Wilder, but I'm not absolutely certain, you know? And his new trainer is Don House, which is not really a new trainer. Don House is a guy that's been in Deontay Wilder's camps before, you know what I'm saying? He's still sticking with his camp assistant, Demarius, and he's still going with Jay, another guy that's a staple in Deontay Wilder's camp. So his camp's not really looking too much different from a personnel standpoint, but the position that the personnel is in, you know, Don House is now moving from a co-trainer to the head trainer. And sometimes when you do get bumped up, you get to instill your philosophy and implement your own game plan, you know what I'm saying? And we'll see how it's executed in this fight tonight, man. So I got Deontay Wilder winning. I didn't really look at the undercard, so I'm unfamiliar with it. But yeah, we will be live for that, good Lord willing. So, you know, and there's another fight tonight, Christian and Billy. I believe they're fighting in Canada. Don't quote me. It starts at 6 p.m. We will be live for that as well. That's going against Christian and Billy versus Masij Sulecki, a guy who he's a veteran guy, been in the ring with a lot of people. Including Diego Pacheco, another guy that's like they're trying to establish a rivalry between Christian and Billy and Diego Pacheco, and so this will just help galvanize that, because Masij Sulecki is a former opponent of Diego Pacheco, and Diego Pacheco, in fact, was the first person to stop Masij Sulecki. So we'll see what Christian and Billy does. It's a little pressure on Billy to look good when you consider that, but you know, I want to see Christian and Billy and Pacheco eventually fight. We'll see if that happens. You know, they had negotiations. Like Brian Norman and Devin Haney, they were involved in negotiations twice, you know,
And Diego Pacheco, according to reports, removed himself from the negotiations twice. So is he a duck, chat? Does somebody have to be ducking because they didn't agree to terms? Is Pacheco ducking and Billy? Is then Billy ducking Pacheco? You know, because whenever negotiations happen and it doesn't result in a fight immediately, then somebody's ducking, right? It's crazy, bro. But anyway, so that fight is tonight. The undercard, I don't remember the undercard. There was somebody else, somebody on the undercard that I was excited to see. I don't remember. But yeah, we're going to be live for that too, good Lord willing. Ty ain't gonna eat no IHOP says, I'm personally saying what Keyshawn did was corny. Facts. He ain't do that to someone that was perceived to be tough. Facts. Hold on, my boy Preacher right now. Everybody face forward in your pews. You know what I'm saying? Pastor Ty ain't gonna eat no IHOP is approaching the pulpit, you know, in the house of the Lord. Boxing Talk Family Church is underway. Shout out to my guy Ty. Let's read what he said again. He says, me personally, I'm saying what Keyshawn did was corny.
Yeah.
He ain't do that to someone that was perceived to be tough.
Yeah.
You don't get no cool points for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't get no cool points for catching the non-confrontational suburban kid.
Yeah.
I agree. Catching him lacking.
Yeah.
I agree, bro. You don't get no cool points for that. You know what I'm saying? You don't get no cool points. On my boy side of baby said. You don't get no bull points. You know what I'm saying? You're running down on him. You don't get no cool points for that. You know what I'm saying? You don't get no cool points for doing what you're supposed to do. You don't get no cool points for looking out for your brother. You're supposed to look out for your brother. You don't get no cool points. It's a fact. That's a fact. But yeah, I agree with Patrick, though. I think it's a little bit too late for Deontay Wilder. However, you know, they're talking about him potentially fighting David Allen. If he looks good against Tyrrell Herndon, I'm not mad at the David Allen fight. And they're also talking about Deontay Wilder finally fighting AJ. I'm not mad at that, you know. Do I really want that fight? I'm going to be honest, man. I don't want that fight because I don't think anybody beating Deontay Wilder is anything more than a resume builder now because he's a name, you know. I feel like sometimes I do feel like I know some people feel differently than me, and I'm open to hearing other people's opinions on this. But my opinion is that once a fight goes past where the fighters, when both the fighters aren't at a decent level, like they don't have to be at their peak, but if one's at a significant exponential decline, then and one's pretty much still doing decent, then I think that the fight shouldn't be considered anymore. So what I mean by that is that Anthony Joshua was on a 4-fight win streak before he lost to Daniel Dubois. He was 4-1. Sorry. He was 4-1 in his last 5 fights, right? He beat Jermaine Franklin, Robert Helenius, Otto Wallin, and Francis Ngannou, right? All suspect victories, but still victories nonetheless. And then he lost to Daniel Dubois. Deontay Wilder's the opposite of that. He's 1-5 in his he's 1-4 in his last 5 fights. He lost to Zhale Zhang, lost to Joseph Parker, lost to Tyson Fury. He beat Robert Helenius, and he lost to Tyson Fury before that, right? So it's like they're on a different trajectory. Anthony Joshua is still serviceable, still decent. He's not at his peak, but he's still decent. He hasn't declined that much. Deontay Wilder has declined significantly. So once a fight doesn't have 2 fighters that are on an even playing field, then I think that the fight should just be forgotten, man. Because I think now, if Tyson, not only do I think AJ beats Deontay Wilder now, and I didn't think that before, but I think AJ beats Deontay Wilder. I think Ajit Caballel beats Deontay Wilder. I think Daniel Dubois beats Deontay Wilder. I think Joseph Parker, well, he did beat Deontay Wilder. I think Martin Bacoli beats Deontay Wilder. I think F.A. Ajagba beats, you know what I'm saying? I think any heavyweight that has any type of, that's at any type of decent caliber is going to beat Deontay Wilder. So to me, Anthony Joshua beating him doesn't mean anything. And people are going to be like, in my opinion, people are going to be like, oh yeah, see, this would have happened 10 years ago. No, not necessarily. I don't think so. Even with Tyson Fury, Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, that's okay because they both have a commonality of losing to Alexander Usyk twice. And they're both not on a significant decline like that. So Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua makes sense to me still. But Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua doesn't make sense to me. But I mean, you know, hey man, one time for the, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna do a cheer to that. You know, if they fight, you know, I'll salute to that. You know, if they fight, it's a fight that was a long time coming. And if they fight, then it's cool. You know, I'm gonna watch it, but I won't be too hyped about it. But let's be honest, Deontay still remains a dangerous fighter. He does with that right hand. Yeah, he said that right hand will take you to bed. Yep, it'll still take you to bed. Yeah, but man, it's just people bear able to game plan better against because they study him so much. You think so?
I don't know if the game. I just think it's more so. And that's the thing, Patrick, and maybe me, you, me and you disagree on that. We differ in that. I think that it's not really that people are game playing. I think it's just that he's not doing the same thing that he used to do. Like, it's one thing to have power, but you still have to deliver that power effectively. I think that his mechanism to deliver that power has not only significantly declined, I would argue that it's not even there anymore. It's non-existent, you know, but I don't know, man. AJ still packing out stadiums. Wilder lucky he ain't get that Usyk smoke. Yeah, and bro, Usyk beats it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, and this is no disrespect to Usyk, Usyk is the man. He's the best heavyweight right now of this current generation. So I'm not gonna say anybody would definitively beat him. But man, Usyk versus Deontay Wilder prior to Tyson Fury, that would have been a very interesting fight, because that's right up Deontay Wilder's wheelhouse, the type of fighter, the stature of Alexander Usyk, all that stuff. You know, I think that's, man, that'd have been an interesting fight, man. I ain't gonna lie. I think Deontay Wilder, because of his approach, because he's unorthodox, because he just looks for that one big shot and he's athletic, I think that would have been a good fight, man. I think there's a strong chance Deontay Wilder could have been victorious. Not now, though. Hell no, not now. Not now. You know what I'm saying? But before, I don't know, man. But yeah, man, that's just what I think about that, man. I'm about to go ahead and get ready to call it, man. Don't forget to smack that like button. Unless, hey, Ty, you got anything you want to add? If anybody has anything else they want to add, man, I think that. Oh, no. I do have something else. Oh, I want to say that I've been hearing this a lot lately as well. Junta Nakatani, man. I've been hearing Junta Nakatani is going to fight Ramon Cardenas. And I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, yeah, man, this is a good fight. What? This Ramon Cardenas versus Junta Nakatani is a great matchup?
What?
How? Bitch, where? I've been seeing people say that Ramon Cardenas and Junta Nakatani is a great matchup. Now, I want to be very clear, man. I don't know if it's true, number one. But number two, most importantly, it's not a great matchup. Ramon Cardenas versus Junta Nakatani is an entertaining fight. It's an intriguing fight. It's an exciting fight. It's an important fight to add to the intrigue that's already there between Naoya Inoue and Junta Nakatani. Anytime two fighters that are going to fight have a commonality of opponents, a common denominator in opponents, it's a good measuring stick, right? Like, okay, bet, you know, I can measure their success against this fighter because now we have a metric that we could point to. But outside of that, why is that a good fight? A great matchup does not mean entertaining. A great matchup does not mean something that you're necessarily hyped for and that you're excited to see. A great matchup means stylistically and based off of accomplishments and their profile, that it would be a great matchup. You know, it would be a great matchup competitively. That's what great matchup means. That it's going to be a competitive fight. There's nothing about Junta Nakatani and Ramon Cardenas that screams competitive at all. It's just going to be an interesting and exciting matchup because we expect Junta Nakatani to put him on his ass. That's why it's interesting. And we love knockouts. That's why. It's not a great matchup at all. At all. Junta Nakatani going to put that man to sleep. There's nothing. Ramon Cardenas had his first title fight against Naoya Inoue and he got stopped. Junta Nakatani just became unified at 118 and he's undefeated. Why would you think that's a great matchup? That's the thing. People don't know the definition of words, man. Like, they be using words and throwing it out there just whimsically. No, bro, that's nothing about Junta Nakatani versus Ramon Cardenas is a great matchup. It's great because, like I said, and there's no disrespect for Ramon Cardenas. I like Cardenas. You know, I think he could be a good fighter. But this is why I hate it for Cardenas, because you're going from Naoya Inoue to Junta Nakatani. Like, bro, like, let Ramon Cardenas build up some confidence. Let him get some good fights. He's good. He's a capable fighter, strong contender. Now, for him, it's a big money fight. You know what I'm saying? Probably the most money that he'll see, especially back to back. I'm not mad at it for him from that standpoint. But I think Ramon Cardenas is a good fighter. I think he can be. I think that he could work on some things, and now he's getting some notoriety. But if you throw him in there to the Wolves, first he was thrown to the Wolves, so now you're going to throw him to the Lions? I just got out the Wolf den. You gonna throw me in the Lions den? Gosh dang. What y'all think Ramon Cardenas is? Daniel? No, that's for those of you that read the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Daniel in the Lions den. You know, Daniel came out unscathed. You know, anyway, one time for the Bible. You know what I'm saying? My biblical brethren and sisters out there. But yeah, like, he the new, thank you, Ty. He's the new Doheny, bro. He's the new Dohinky. Come on, don't do Ramon Cardenas like that, bro. You gonna throw him from Naoya Inoue to Junto Nakatani, bro? And people saying that's a great matchup. That is not a great matchup. That's the opposite of a great matchup. It's gonna be exciting because you're excited for it and you're intrigued by it because you want it to be used as a building block to create the massive to increase the already massive appeal between the Inoue and Nakatani future fight. Yeah, that's cool. It could be used for that, but it's not a great matchup at all. It's the opposite of a great matchup. I could argue that it's a terrible matchup, you know, more than it's a great matchup. You know, I think it's terrible for but you know, Junto Nakatani is one of my favorite fighters. So if you want to line him up for another easy knockout, hey, do it. Yeah, it's cool with me. But you gotta understand, man, Junto Nakatani just beat an undefeated Ryosuke Nishida to unify the IBF and the WBC world titles of the 118 bantamweight division. It's not a good matchup between him and Ramon Cardenas. He beat Alejandro Santiago, who was a champion. It's not a good matchup for Junto Nakatani to fight Ramon Cardenas. He beat look what he did to Vincent Astrolabio, 1-round knockout. That's a contender, former champion, right? If I'm not mistaken. So you know, this Junto Nakatani beat. Look what he did to Maloney. That was a knockout reel. You know, highlight reel of a KO. That was a former champion. So there's no way that you could convince me that Ramon Cardenas versus Junto Nakatani is a good matchup. That's no disrespect to Ramon Cardenas. I'm saying Ramon Cardenas, if you see this, which you probably won't, but if you do, you never know. You know, consider your career, bro. Consider what you can do. Don't just, you know, let them feed you to a world champions, unified champions back to back, bro. You know, take some time for yourself to get better and improve on some things that you have flaws in and really believe in yourself. Sometimes a form of believing in yourself is turning down certain opportunities. You understand what I'm saying? So you might get a life-changing opportunity, but at what cost? You see what I'm saying? You might get a nice salary, but are you going to be happy with that job? And maybe if you look beyond the instant gratification, then maybe you have something else in the background that God is opening up that's bigger for you and better for you. You know what I'm saying? So let's say if you fight a tune-up after getting stopped by Naoya Inoue like you did, then maybe you'll build some confidence, build some momentum, and then you'll get a title shot against a guy like, let's say, I don't know, what's my boy's name? The WBA champion. He just got elevated. No disrespect to him. I can't remember his name right now. Oh my gosh, what's his name? Dang, I can't remember his name right now. Let me look it up. He just got elevated to WBA championship because Seiya Sutsumi he has an eye injury. What's his name, bro? Hispanic dude. I can't remember his name right now. Shoot, what's his name? Let me see. Antonio Vargas. So let's say that, you know, you work your way up into contention and you get a title shot against Antonio Vargas, a guy that's a little bit more, no disrespect to Antonio Vargas, but he's an easier title shot than Junto Nakatani, then that's be believing in yourself. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes when you go back-to-back title shots against two back-to-back great fighters, you know, then it kind of shows that you're just taking advantage of your position right now and you don't really have faith in yourself to stay at that level, you know? So I don't know. That's just my personal opinion on it, man. I don't think you have to jump from Naoya Inoue to Junto Nakatani. But if you do, hey, do your thing. Because you could beat Junto. You never know. You know, it's a very slim chance, but you could. Hey, and nothing impossible. You know, you did drop Naoya Inoue, so maybe you could drop Nakatani and make him stay dropped. I just doubt it. You know, because I have Junto Nakatani beating the monster anyway. He said we need Nakatani versus Inoue. That's it. Yeah, we need that. That's a fire fight right there. That is a fire fight right there. But yeah, hell no. Get Junto another champion. He ain't got no time for that. Yeah, exactly. That part too. I want to see Junto Nakatani unify again. I want him to pursue undisputed. You know, especially while Naoya Inoue is occupied with MJ Akhmadaliev in September. Good Lord willing. And then the rumors are that according to Turkey Al Sheikh, that he'll be fighting the #1 ranked opponent, David Allen Picasso Romero, the Mexican highly ranked contender. So yeah, so now Inoue is going to fight him in December. He's occupied the Japanese pound for pound top fighter. Now Inoue is occupied with the Uzbekistan MJ Akhmadaliev for September, and then December he's occupied with the Mexican contender and David Allen Picasso Romero. So let Junto Nakatani fight his fellow countrymen, Japanese countrymen that are champions, and Yoshiki Takei for the WBO title, or even fight Antonio Vargas for the WBA title, you know, which I don't think that they'll let that happen because Seiya Sutsumi is an undefeated Japanese title holder. It's just that he has eye surgery. So, you know, I think that they're trying to save that position for him to eventually fight Yoshiki Takei for the WBA, WBO unification. But still, yeah, let him pursue that, man. Let him pursue that, man. I want to see Juto Nakatani in meaningful fights, man, because I think he can become undisputed at bantamweight like Naoya Inoue before him, man. And that what would that do for the matchup between Inoue and Nakatani, man? Now Inoue being undisputed in 2 weight divisions, 118 and 122, fighting his successor, if you will, it being undisputed in Juto Nakatani if he's undisputed at 118. That'll build up the intrigue for that fight even more, man. I might actually try to attend that in Japan. You know what I'm saying? Myself, Oscar, and Ty, and even Patrick slide out there in Japan for Inoue versus Nakatani. Ooh, that'd be crazy, boy. I need my passport tattoo with Japan. I ain't been to Japan yet. Don't forget to smack that like button, man. But yeah, so that's I would much rather that, you know. Shout out to Mama Doc, man. Mama Doc hit me with some inspiring quotes, you know, some inspirational God quotes, you know, biblical quotes, you know, faith quotes. She said, "Walk by faith, not by sight." What did I just say about Ramon Cardenas? Walk by faith, not by sight. You know what I'm saying? I definitely would be against him going against Juto Nakatani. But hey, man, if he goes and he wins, then I'm wrong. But I think Juto Nakatani gonna put him to sleep. But Mama Doc said, "Walk by faith, not by sight." 2 Corinthians. Let's go, man. Also, she sent me, "The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged." Deuteronomy verse 31, chapter 31, verse 8. Friday blessings. She also says, "Be happy, grow in Christ, be encouraged, agree with one another, live in peace, and the God of love and peace will also be with you." 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 11. Happy weekend. Amen. Shout out to my mom. Text her back real quick. Yeah, man. So I almost went live yesterday, man. I was at the park working out. Yeah, sorry about no show yesterday. I meant to say that. There was no shows yesterday. I apologize for that, but those are storms, man. Storms going in and out, and my internet was going in and out. Like I said, man, I have Xfinity and the ISP in Florida, man. Xfinity is my ISP, and I'm in Florida, man. And it's like, bro, the wind blow too hard. Gosh dang, the internet starts getting to state showing some instability, so I didn't want to go live. And then plus sometimes, you know, you take a break too, man. You know, take care of yourself and go, you know, always go work out and stuff. I was gonna go live. Shout out to my boy Oster in the building. My man Oster, what's good, brethren? Pugilism says, "If Inoue is the monster of Japan, Norman Jr. is King Ghidorah in Japan." That's crazy. King Ghidorah with the 3 heads. Hey, Brian Norman did this thing now. Hey, man, I'm hoping Brian Norman pans out, man. I really like Brian Norman. I'm not gonna lie. I like Brian Norman. I like his humility. You know, I like his he's very articulate too. I like his demeanor. You know, I like Brian Norman Sr. as well. I'm rooting for them, man. I really like them, man. Shout out to the American champion Brian Norman Jr. at 147-pound division representing the WBO, man. I think he does it well, and I think that he should be considered the best at 147 right now. You know, I'm not gonna lie though. I will say this though. I think Karen Chukadze versus Brian Norman, that's a hell of a fight, man. I don't know, man. Stylistically, Karen Chukadze is a tricky fighter, man. He's a tough fighter for anybody. So, you know, when I say that I look at him as the best champion, I'm not saying that nobody else can hold a candle to him. Nah, I think Barrios and Norman's a good fight too. You know, I think Stanionis and Norman's a good fight. I think they're good fights, but I do indeed lean towards him as a favorite right now. Shout out to my guy Oscar Perez, man. He said, "I don't like that fight though. If it was Alan Picasso, it'd be different." Hold on. That fight makes sense. If so, if it's on the undercard for Mexico versus Japan, Juto versus Cardenas, I don't like that fight though. If it was Alan Picasso, it'd be different. Yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't make sense though. You're right, Oscar. Like I said, I want to be very clear. I'm glad you said that too. So I want to be clear. I'm not saying it. I'm saying it makes sense. I'm saying if you want to use it as a building block to build up Nakatani and Inoue, yes, it makes sense. But I'm seeing people say it's a great matchup. Like you said, you're not. Why don't you like that fight, Oscar? Because you know Ramon Cardenas ain't got no business fighting Juto Nakatani coming off of a loss against Naoya Inoue. You know that. You feel me? It's like, remember, it's the same thing we said about Juan Francisco Estrada. El Gallo, the Rooster, right? Shout out to Juan Francisco Estrada, but he lost to Bam Rodriguez. Then he moved up to 118, and what did we say? Oh, they better not put him in the WBC with Junto, and that's exactly what they did. He was ranked number 1 in the WBC for Juto Nakatani. That fight is cool, but that's not a good matchup, especially coming off of a stoppage loss to Bam Rodriguez. You're going to go fight Junto after getting stopped in a weight division below against against Bam Rodriguez? Junto gonna put you to sleep. Ramon Cardenas, now it's a little different because he's a weight class above, but you guys stop by now anyway. You think you're going to go down there and fight Juju Nakatani and be successful, man? Juju Nakatani gonna put you to sleep, man. Stop it, man. But yeah, so I agree with you. Yeah, it's like you said, I'm sure that's why you don't like it. Yeah, it makes sense. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense, but a great matchup, it is not. A great matchup means that it's competitive. That doesn't mean it's going to be competitive once they're in the ring, but it means going into the fight, we think it's going to be competitive. It's going to be a back and forth fight. You know what I'm saying? On paper, Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford was a competitive fight. It wasn't that way in the ring, but that's hindsight 2020. You feel me? Looking at it retroactively, we realized that it wasn't a good matchup, but on paper it was. Ramon Cardenas and Juju Nakatani on paper, on gosh dang, on leaf. You know what I'm saying? In a booklet, on tablet, there's nothing about that fight that's a good matchup competitively. Hell no. You know what I'm saying? Is it intriguing? Yeah, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we already know this, right? That's the same playbook that Nick Ball is using, right? He's using the playbook like, okay, I want Naoya Inoue, so I'm gonna fight his opponents. I'm gonna fight his recent opponents, right? To build up the intrigue. I'm gonna fight TJ Doheny, and then I'm gonna fight Sam Goodman. You know, even though they're coming from lower weight divisions, I'm still gonna fight them to build up the intrigue and use it as a building block to establish to create more of a demand for the fight between me and Naoya Inoue. So of course we've seen this playbook be used before. You know, you go and fight, have common opponents to build up a future fight between you and somebody else. But as a lot, there's no way that trans. I ain't gonna say no way, but it's seldom that translates to being a great matchup. You know what I'm saying? To me, a great matchup is a fight that's competitive. You know, that we anticipate to be competitive, not that we anticipate to end in knockout and used as a stepping stone. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. A matchup and business move are different things. Right. There you go. Exactly. Shout out to my guy, Oscar. But yeah. I mean, but which I know Oscar knows, which is why he said he doesn't like the fight as well. Shout out to my guy, Oscar. Brian might lose that one. To Karen, right? Hey, Ty. Hey. To Karen, right? He might lose to Karen. Facts. He might lose to Karen. And I'm not saying that in a disrespectful manner. I'm saying that Karen is that good. I'm not saying Brian Norman is bad. I'm saying Karen is that good. We can't confuse lack of familiarity with a lack of skill. A lot of times people do. We confuse lack of familiarity with somebody not being good. No, you just haven't heard of him. It's like Dimitri Bivol. Everybody thought Canelo was going to beat Bivol, right? No one batted an eye at Bivol. But then all of a sudden Bivol beat Cinnamon, and now we're saying Bivol's good. No, Bivol was good. It's just now you took notice. You know what I'm saying? It's like when people, and I'm not saying this because I like Cinnamon. You know, Cinnamon's my guy. You know, I have no shame in that. But I'm not saying this because I like Cinnamon. But the truth is that people were saying that, oh, William Skull was a trash fight. William Skull was an undefeated IBF champion. He messed around. He could have messed around and beat Canelo. Then people would have gave him the Dimitri Bivol treatment and said, oh, okay, now he's good. But before people were saying he's trash. No, don't confuse lack of familiarity with a lack of skill. Those are not synonymous ideas. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times we conflate the two. We think because, oh, this guy's not popular, he doesn't have a big profile, so he's not good. No, bro, you just haven't heard of him. Look at Bakram Murtazaliev. Bakram Murtazaliev, his biggest fight before that was Jack Koke. No one heard of Bakram Murtazaliev until he mollywopped Tim Tszyu. Now all of a sudden, he's the best in the division. And I like Bakram. And I'm one of those, I think he's one of the best in the division. But he didn't just become good because he beat Tim Tszyu. You could argue, and Bakram would argue, that wasn't even his peak performance because he was compromised. He had an injured right pinky. And he did that to Tim Tszyu in 3 rounds. Bumba. He did that to Tim Tszyu in 3 rounds with an injured right pinky. Box side.
Me blood clot.
You feel me? So you could argue that wasn't even peak Bakram. You know what I'm talking about? He said, but I do think it's funny how folks only talking about Bill and B. Norman Sr. disrespecting each other and saying that's the reason that's no fight, as if they didn't apologize to each other that day. Come on, Ty. Bro, you know boxing is drama, bro. You know the boxing fan base is drama, bro. They don't care about the fights. They want to see, bro, more people are, bro, I promise you, bro. The highlight of that fight, no matter how good it is going to be Bill Norman and Bill Norman. I combine their names. Bill Haney and Brian Norman Sr. You know, and which is not necessarily a bad thing, you know, but that's going to be the highlight, their interaction more than the fight. Tank a real live hoe. Hey, hold on now, Oster. Hold on now. Let me pull out my GTD chain. Hold on now. Watch your mouth now. I saw you violate my boy Cinnamon too, talk about technically Skull 1. I saw that. And now you talk about Tank 2? Oh, nah. Oh, so you came in late today, bro. I'm about to put you in the corner, bro. You're already late. So you on thin ice, buddy. You on thin ice, buddy. You ain't gonna come in late and be talking about Canelo and Tank 2. Nah, bro. I might let you slide with one. You can talk trash about Tank. You can talk trash about Cinnamon. You can't talk trash about both of them and be late simultaneously. You know what I'm saying? You wilding right now, B. You wilding, B. You lock in, Oster. Lock in. You know what I'm talking about? Lock in. That man finna retire. Hey, man, he might, bro. Hey, man, let my boy Tank live, man. He finna retire Roach first, and then he might retire afterwards. You feel me? Pugilis said, now Manny is fighting Barrios in a couple of weeks. Yep. That's a fact, chat. But yeah, man, so we will be live. You know, usually we go live at 7 p.m. We're going to go live a little earlier today because we do have a fight at 6, which will be in Canada, I believe, with Christian and Billy. We're going to do a little traveling today, you feel me? We go into, it's in Quebec, Canada, man, with Christian and Billy versus Masih Sulecki. And that's the other fight I was looking forward to. Remember I told you there was another fight that I was looking forward to on that card? It's Arslanbek Makhmadov versus Ricardo Brown. That's the other fight, man. Shout out to the Jamaican badman, Ricardo Brown. Those of you that check out my guy Ryan Frazier, Boxer Talk Up North, he actually interviewed Ricardo Brown. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Ricardo Brown, man. He's in the network. You know what I'm talking about? Network of the good streamers, in my opinion. You know, good boxing content creators. But also, too, John Orobrio talking trash about my boy Tank. You know what I'm saying? John Orobrio is another guy that they call Tank 2.0.
Yeah.
In addition to Kermel Moulton that they call Tank 2.0.
Yeah.
In addition to Jersley Vargas, who they call Tank 2.0.
Yeah.
So while you're hating on Tank, Tank got a lot of mini-me's out there, you know what I'm talking about, that's trying to be like him. You feel? No disrespect to John Orobrio. It's not their fault that they get compared to the great Gervonta Tank Davis. I'm not saying that, you know, but I'm just saying people bestow these guys as the next Tank because that's how good you are. You know what I'm saying? When you got mini-me's out here, that means that's a testament to your greatness. You don't see them calling, I'm going to take a shot at Oster right now. You don't see them talking about, oh, that's little Shakur. Oh, that's little Terrence Crawford. Yeah, but they talk about little Tanks and little Canelos, though. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, step your game up, man. It ain't my fault. You know what I'm talking about? It ain't my fault that I like greatness. You feel me? It ain't my fault that I gravitate towards greatness. You feel me? Get you some, Oster. Stop hating, man. Stop hating, man. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, shout out to and great with the eyeballs. Yeah, I'm about to get off, bro. Yeah, y'all disrespecting, man. Y'all disrespect. I'm about to get off, man, because y'all disrespected greatness, man. I don't appreciate that. That means I've been on too long. Now y'all talking nonsense. Y'all disrespected greatness, man. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all out here disrespecting.
Here you go. Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm tired of that. It was so disrespectful.
He said Tank in his ass whooped because he's a hoe. Oh, Tank. Look, Kendrick came out of nowhere. I thought you were stuck in traffic, man. Hey, man, you pay attention to the road, man. You know what I'm talking about? Make sure you get to your destination safely, KD. You feel me? You over here talking, you over here chiming in. We don't need you to chime in for that. Lil Budrick never heard that one. You feel me? You feel me, Ty? You see what I'm talking about? You never heard about Lil Budrick. You know what I'm talking about? You heard about Lil B-Hop. You know what I'm saying? That's greatness, baby. You heard about Lil Oscar. You know what I'm saying? Oscar 2.0 with Ryan Garcia. That's greatness with Oscar. You feel me? I ain't never heard about no Lil Tank. You know, I mean, I ain't never heard about no Lil Bud. I ain't never heard about no Lil Shakur. You feel me? I'm just saying, though. You know, I heard about Lil Cinnamon. You feel me? I ain't never heard about no Lil Tank, Lil Bud and Lil Shakur. You feel me? So I don't know, man. You know, you live for Billy? Yes, sir. Which fight you call? Yeah, and Billy is at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're gonna be live for that. Good Lord willing. They one of a kind. I like that. That's a rebuttal I would have said. So salute to Kendrick. I would have said that. I would have said they're one of a kind. That's what I would have said. I would also say that people can't replicate that greatness because, you know what I'm saying, they're so great that they can't even come close to be a 2.0. So I would have said something like that. So salute to Kendrick. But I disagree. You know what I'm saying? But I disagree, you know, but I do respect Shakur. And, you know, I like Bud a lot. So ain't nobody going to trick me off of liking Bud. But yeah, I will be live, Patrick, good Lord willing, at 6 o'clock for the Christian and Billy versus Masih Sulecki fight. And then we're just going to roll that into the Deontay Wilder versus Tyrrell Herndon fight, you know, because that starts at 9 p.m. on 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on BLK Prime, and then Christian and Billy Sulecki's 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on ESPN. And then we're gonna go for tomorrow as well. We have Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. I'm rooting for Chavez, man, but I got Jake Paul. I ain't gonna lie. I'm rooting for Chavez though, but I got Jake Paul. winning, but I'm rooting for Chavez. And then also too, Jean Pascal, man. Jean Pascal still fighting, chat. What the? He's fighting against Michael Cieslak. So shout out to John Pascal, man. I like John Pascal, but I don't know why he's still fighting, bro. The man's still fighting, bro. I said Jean Pascal. I said, what? Hold on now. Question: will Tank go down as a great in boxing history? Ooh. To be fair, any Mexican with minimum head movement is next. Canelo. and to be fair, any Mexican with minimal head movement is the next Canelo. And they be tripping because my boy Canelo got head movement, man. Don't do my boy Cinnamon like that. He said, question: will Tank go down as great in boxing history? I think so, yeah. I mean, it depends. He has to beat. If he loses to Lamont Roach, I don't think so. But if he beats Lamont Roach and he retires undefeated, I don't even think he has to retire undefeated to go down as a great. But if he does continue his on his current path of being undefeated, yeah, I think he'll be a great. Now how great, is he gonna be like a top 10 great? Nah, hell no. But it would be a great, yeah, I think so. You gotta look at it. He's iconic already. You know what I'm saying? He's already iconic. You feel me? Being one of the, it's like AJ, whether you like AJ or not, AJ's a great, bro, for what he did for British boxing. So you gotta look at what Tank is doing for American boxing, whether you like Tank or not. He's definitely gonna go down as a great, unless he loses to Lamont Roach. The same with Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson, whether Shakur and Tank fight or not, Shakur, if he continues his current trajectory of greatness and being undefeated, he'll go down as a great too. I think people, what I'm saying? That's a good question, Oscar. I love that question because you got to, but we got to think. And this is no disrespect to Lomachenko. I know people think I don't like Lomachenko. I just think that Lomachenko is a beneficiary of a lot of moving of goalposts. You know what I'm saying? A lot of exaggeration. But Lomachenko is 18-3. Let me say that again. Out of 21 fights, Lomachenko lost 3 of them. That means every 7 fights, he's losing a fight. That's what 18-3 means. That means that every 7 fights, you lose in a fight. He lost to Orlando Salido in the second professional fight. He lost to Devin Haney. And he also lost to Teofimo Lopez. And he's great. I have no problem with calling the Ukrainian champion great. I think he's great. Also, especially when you include his amateur career. But if he's great at 18-3, then you better believe that Gervonta Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, and some other folks are great as well. So yeah, I think he's gonna go down as a great. You know what I'm saying? He's an icon. Doc, you just like these guys. Tank ain't doing shit for boxers. That's crazy. Tank is outselling everybody besides Canelo, bro. What are we talking about? Come on, sir. You just don't like Tank. It's one thing we not gonna fabricate things now and take away people's credit. I'm not saying he's the best. Hey, you think Shakur beats Tank? I'm cool. How many other people do you think beats Tank besides Shakur? Same with Shakur. I think Tank beats Shakur, but I don't think anybody else beats Shakur besides Tank. And there's a lot of people that don't think anybody beats Tank besides Shakur. Maybe not recently because Lamont Roach, but enter Lamont Roach. But a lot of people think that Shakur is the only person that beats Tank. He's the only person I could see beating Tank. I think Tank beats Shakur, but he's the only person I think I could see beating him. You know what I'm saying? I was surprised just as everybody else with the Lamont Roach thing. So that's greatness, man. If out of all these fighters, all these champions, you can only see one person beating you, that's greatness. And not to mention, look at his pay-per-views, bro. That's greatness, man. You don't see anybody would say they want to sell like Lomachenko. They want to sell like Shakur. They say they want to sell like Gervonta Tank Davis. Nah, Tank not nowhere near great. He do nothing for boxing. Yeah, you a hater. You a hater, bro. Tank will be a reference to this era. Lomachenko duck is next cow's duck. If it walk like a duck, boo-doo-doo-doo. If it talk like a duck, boo-doo-doo-doo. If it walk like a duck, boo-doo-doo-doo. It's a motherfucking duck. Duckchenko is crazy. Is next Kawasaki. He's gonna be sitting in a tree in a shrine he don't deserve. He's gonna be sitting in a shrine he don't deserve. Jake Paul will be in the Boxing Hall of Fame. Hate him or not. Okay, now you wildin' pugilism. You said Jake Paul's gonna be in the Boxing Hall of Fame? Bullshit. Yeah, pugilism, you wildin'. AJ and Tank different. Facts, Ty. That's what I'm saying. Whether you like AJ or not, I'm a Deontay Wilder guy. AJ is that dude, bro. Tank is that dude. Some things are just not debatable. Whether you like him or not, whether you think he's going to beat Shakur or not, whether you think AJ is going to beat Tyson Fury or not, those are debatable. What's not debatable is what they do when putting booties in them seats. You can't debate that. You've seen Wembley. You've seen all them heads in Wembley. You think they were there for Dubois or were they there for AJ? You see all them heads at Tank versus Roach or Tank versus Martin. Were they there for Frank the Ghost Martin or Lamont Roach or were they there for Gervonta Tank Davis? Come on now. Let's call it what it is. Tank will be a reference to his era. I read that already. He said, hate him or not, fame is about generating and pushing units for the sport. That's true. Boxing recognized Rocky as a Hall of Fame boxing movie. That's true. They recognize Jake Paul like a WBC Maya belt. That's true. But Rocky's different though. He's in there from a contributor to the sport as far as building the brand, not as a competitor. Jake Paul would be going as a competitor, I think. So, I mean, he is building up women's boxing though. So maybe you might be on to some pugilism. I disagree, but you might be on to something, bro. It's not outside the realm of possibility. Shout out to my guy Southwest Dice in the building. What's good, brethren? He says, salute. Tired of so many boxing fans saying Devin lost to Loma. Rewatch the fight. Count body work and turn commentator off. Yeah, and nah, I will say this. I'm not mad at anybody that thinks that Lomachenko won. Me personally, I had like 4 swing rounds. That's a lot of swing rounds, number one. But it was that close. So I'm not mad at anybody saying that Loma won. I'm one of them. I thought Loma won 7 rounds to 5. I watched it multiple times. But I watched it sometimes, like you said, a testament to what you're saying. I saw where Devin Haney could have won. I'm not one of the, bro, there's such things as close fights that could go either way. There's close fights with a clear winner, and there's close fights that could go either way. I think that Devin Haney versus Lomachenko was the latter. I thought it was a close fight that could have went either way. You know what I'm saying? If you gave it to Devin Haney, that's cool. I'm not mad at anybody. I wasn't mad at Devin Haney winning that fight, you know, nor am I mad at Lomachenko winning that fight. It's like Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev the first fight. I don't think there was a clear-cut winner. It was a close fight, could have went either way. I had Bivol winning, but Beterbiev won. I wouldn't think it was a robbery. Like people put their every fight that doesn't result in the winner that you were rooting for as a victor. Every fight that doesn't result in the boxer that you're winning for as a victor is not a robbery, bro. So I think anybody calling Devin Haney versus Lomachenko a robbery, I think you're stupid. I'm not gonna lie, it's not a robbery. Whether you had Lomachenko or Devin Haney winning, it was definitely not a robbery. And yeah, I agree with you. I think that anybody thinking that Devin Haney couldn't have won that fight, I think you're crazy. You're probably just a Devin Haney hater, or you don't know what you watching, and you're probably just a dumbass.
You dumbass.
Okay, Tank a historical great. Okay, fighting who? But okay, Tank is a great in boxing. Bullshit. In my personal humble opinion, if Tank don't at least unify, he has to be forgotten as the years go down. That's probably true. Kind of like Paul Williams, only remembered by purists. I agree. Shout out to Paul Williams, but Paul Williams, you know, he has a couple losses, you know, with Sergio Martinez and stuff like that. And Paul Williams didn't sell like that. That's the part that I think we're missing. Like I said, remember I said iconic, you know, like Tyson's iconic. Gervonta Tank Davis is iconic, bro. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think he'll be easily forgotten, you know. And then with Oster's just capping right now. Shout out to my guy Oster, but to say that he doesn't fight anybody, I mean, that's disingenuous at best. You got to understand, a welterweight champion lost to Tank. Mario Barrios, the guy who's fighting the legendary Pacquiao. Oh, Tank beat him. Did we forget that? The guy, Isaac Pitbull Cruz, who became a champion again, Tank beat him. Did we forget that? Isaac Pitbull Cruz was a champion at 140. Tank beat him. Oh, the guy, Rolly Romero, who's a champion at 147, who's about to get elevated by the WBA, Rolly Romero. Oh, guess what? Tank also beat him. Oh, Sniper Pedraza, the guy that we say, oh, that's a good win for Keyshawn Davis and a good win for Ernesto Tito Mercado. Oh, by the way, Tank beat him when he was undefeated. So you could say he hasn't beat anybody, but that's kind of disingenuous. So I'm not saying that those are the best wins. And I agree with Oscar. You know me, I love unifications. I would love for him to unify against Shakur Stevenson ideally, or maybe unify against Raymond Murataya, or maybe unify against the who else is a champion? What's it? WBC, WBA, WBO, against the WBO champion that's yet to be determined between Abdullah Mason and Sam Noakes. I would love that. But that's not the only way to be great, you know, unfortunately, you know, so nah, bro, you tripping. In fact, tell me a guy that Shakur Stevenson beat that went on and became champion. I'll wait. Tell me a guy that Teofimo Lopez beat that went on and became a champion. I'll wait. Tell me a guy that Jerron Boots Ennis beat that went on and became a champion. I'll wait. Tell me a guy that Devin Haney beat that went on and became a champion. I'll wait. So all these guys are the guys that I just named. In my personal opinion, I think Teofimo Lopez, I don't like the motherfucker. He's racist and I can't stand him, but he's a great fighter. Jerron Boots Ennis, in my opinion, being unified and a Ring Magazine champion, he's a great fighter. Devin Haney being the first ever, the youngest ever undisputed champion in the 4-belt era. Whether you like him or not, I'm not particularly a fan of Devin Haney, but he's a great fighter. Shakur Stevenson is a champion right now, undefeated, and he's a multi-division champion. He's a great fighter. So why isn't Tank? He's also multi-division champion. Outside of you not liking him, outside of the hair grease, outside of the dancing in his drawers, outside of the talking trash, outside of you not liking him, why is he not a great fighter, but everybody else I just named is great? Jai Bataya. People have no problem calling him a great fighter. Is his resume more impressive than Gervonta Tank Davis's? I think not. I think not. You see what I'm saying? People have no problem calling Jai Bataya a great fighter. And I would agree. But if those guys are great fighters, then I think that Gervonta Tank Davis, I'm going to pull my GTD chain out. You know what I'm talking about? That's what y'all, you see, y'all trying to pull me in to stay in. Y'all want me to stay on longer because you want me to cook. I'm trying not to cook. You feel me? I need to really go cook because I'm getting hungry. But y'all want me to cook. I cook now. I'm Chef Curry with the pot, boy. 360 with the wrist, boy. You feel me? We could cook now. You know what I'm talking about? We could cook now. Okay, question. If it was one slot for historical greatness between Devin Haney or Tank, Tank Davis is crazy. Shout out to my guy, Big Dog Willie, dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter. Shout out to my guy dropping that graffiti on the chat walls, Big Dog Willie. He says Tank Davis is in Los Angeles. And then I realized Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. fight is in Anaheim, California. Yes, sir. It is. Show. I'm going back to Cali. Seems kind of fishy, but what do I know? This man think Gervonta Tank Davis for the hop in the ring against Jake Paul after he beats Chavez? You never know. You never know. He said, let him cook. I appreciate it, Oster. Shout out to my guy, Oster, man. He said, Doc, you really said Pitbull, the guy that lost to Leo? For real? Lost to Leo? Angel, you mean lost to Rolly Romero, maybe? Who you talking about? And Rolly, are you serious? I'm about to send this food package to you because it has to be the food. Bro. Rolly's a champion, bro. Eastside Pitbull Cruz is a champ. I'm not saying, bro, my point is, okay, so, okay. Let me ask you this. All jokes aside, I'm not picking on, I like Shakur, but I'm just asking for an honest opinion. Jamel Herring, I like Jamel Herring. But is Jamel Herring? I mean, he didn't become a champion after Shakur beat him, but is Jamel Herring more impressive of an opponent than Eastside Pitbull Cruz or Mario Barrios or Leo Santa Cruz or Rolly Romero? I'm asking, objectively speaking. So what's wrong with beating Rolly? Rolly Romero's a champion right now, bro. That's not my fault. That's not my fault. Hey, Patrick, that's not my fault, brother. You know what I'm saying? I don't decide who's a champion. I don't decide what belt qualifies as a championship fight. It's not my fault. Get mad at the WBA. But because of the WBA, Rolly Romero is a champion. That's undeniable. That's not my fault. It's not my fault, brother. I didn't say that Rolly Romero versus Ryan Garcia should be a championship or interim championship fight. Interim. I didn't say that. That wasn't me. I didn't make the distinction. That's outside my jurisdiction, brother. That's not my authority. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the authority to make that the championship fight, but it is. And because of that, Rolly Romero's a champion. Pitbull Cruz became a champion in the WBA at 140. It's not my fault. Mario Barrios is a champion of the WBC. It's not my fault when he beat, you know what I'm saying? It's not my fault, bro. I'm just telling you what it is. Don't get mad. Don't shoot the messenger. Was a champion before Shakur beat him. Yeah. I'm saying, is he a champion after? You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Bro, this is what I'm saying, Patrick. Let me be very clear. I'm saying that when Tank, I think it means something, and not just for Tank, Canelo too, Floyd too, Shakur too. I'm just telling you that it happened for Tank. When you beat somebody and they go on and become a champion, that means that they weren't bad. That means that you're just so great that you're able to beat a guy who still has the potential to become a champion. And I think Frank the Ghost Martin has the potential to be a champion. Bro, I said this when Frank Martin lost to Tank. I said, I bet you Frank Martin's going to become a champion. Watch. I can't guarantee it because I don't know how the person's career is going to be. I don't know how their career is going to progress and stuff like that. But I'm willing to put money that Frank Martin will be a champion at 140. So that'll be another person that became a champion after they lost to Tank. To me, that means that he's beating good guys. He's not beating guys on the decline. He's not beating guys that are shot. He's not beating guys that aren't good or hype machines. He's beating guys that could go on and become a champion again later on in their career. That's the only thing I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that other fighters aren't capable of doing that. I'm just saying they haven't done it. Who went after Teofimo beat Steve Claggett? You think he's gonna be a champion? Jermaine Ortiz might be, but Jermaine Ortiz not a champion since he lost to Teofimo. I bet you probably need. We ain't even watching Jermaine Ortiz no more after he fought Teofimo, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm damn saying, man. Pitbull was the passenger of that cab. Shit, Ryan and Frank was in the car too. Come on, man. Y'all hating, bro. Y'all hating, bro. Dr. Boxing Talk kind of knew that question will steer the conversation this way. Anarchy. I knew it. I knew it, bro. Y'all be setting me up. Y'all be wanting to get off. Y'all be wanting me to get off, man. I appreciate y'all though already. Hey, shout out to my guy, Big Dog Willie, man, dropping the graffiti on the chat walls with the $5, man. I appreciate that. Take the truth, but I think he needs to fight some of his contemporaries. I agree. Bro, I like Tank, bro. I want him to fight unification. You know, I like Junto. I wanted Junto to fight Ryosuke Nishida, Yoshiki Takei, Seiya. In my opinion, when you're at 118 and you're great, you can't have other people be great on your watch. You see what I'm saying? That's why I don't think LeBron is better than Jordan. I might be many things, but I'm consistent. The reason why I think Jordan is better than LeBron, my personal opinion, is because Reggie Miller wasn't allowed to be great. He was still great, don't get me wrong, but he wasn't allowed to be a champion, is what I'm saying. He wasn't the epitome. He didn't reach the ultimate accolade that you could get. Because why? Because Jordan. Charles Barkley wasn't allowed to be great. Well, I'm saying be great as in be a champion. These guys are great. He's the MVP. I'm saying great in the context of being a champion. Reggie Miller wasn't allowed to be great. Patrick Ewing wasn't allowed to be great. Charles Barkley wasn't allowed to be great. Karl Malone wasn't allowed to be great. John Stockton wasn't allowed to be great. Why? What's the common denominator? Mother freaking MJ. You know, when LeBron was there, who was allowed to be great? KD was allowed to be great. Steph Curry was allowed to be great. Kobe was Kobe is a little bit before LeBron, rest in peace, Kobe, but still, he won on his watch. You see what I'm saying? Who else? Who else? Give me some more. Give me some more of his contemporaries, chat. Jokic was allowed to be great. Giannis was allowed to be great. You see what I'm saying? Jordan stopped a lot of people from being a champion. So what I'm saying is with Junto Nakatani, there's too many. There's Yoshiki Takei was a WBO undefeated champion. Seiya Susumi's a WBA undefeated champion. Ryosuke Nishida was a undefeated IBF champion. All in his division. If you're great, go handle that. Show me that you are the best and that you dominate your domain. And he did that when he didn't beat everybody, but he did beat Ryosuke Nishida. That's love. So I apply the same logic with Tank. I need Tank to go get a unification. You ain't got to be undisputed, but get unification. Go beat Raymond. It doesn't even have to be Shakur. Beat Lomachenko. Lomachenko retired now. He tried, but it is what it is. He retired. I think Lomachenko escaped a little bit, but you know what I'm saying? That's for another conversation for another day. Lomachenko escaped, right? He didn't get that unification. Shakur Stevenson, he's letting that go through his fingers. I think he needs to fight Shakur. Fight Raymond Morataya. Fight the winner of Abdullah Mason, Sam Noakes. I need that. So I apply the same amount of pressure. I'm very consistent, man. Same with Canelo. The reason why Canelo is great, Canelo is undisputed. The first ever undisputed at 168. And he just became undisputed again by beating William Skull. You may not have liked that fight. You may not have respected William Skull, but he was an undefeated IBF champion. He took that. Jerron Boots Ennis. I never really called Jerron Boots Ennis great. Y'all know that. When he beats the undefeated Stanionis for that WBA unification, oh, he's great now. Facts. And he's the Ring Magazine title holder. Oh, he's great now. Whether you like him or not, whether you respect the Lithuanian champion Amantas Stanionis, whether you respect the where's Germany? Where's Karen Chukazan from? I think Karen Chukazan is German. I don't know. Whatever. Whether you respect those guys, cool. But now you can't deny it. He has the hardware to prove it. WBA, IBF champion, and Ring Magazine title. He's great now. That's what unifications mean. So we got to start respecting these gosh dang accomplishments, man. Stop it, bro. Zerto's great too. Zerto's great at cruiserweight. WBA, WBO. Yes, sir. And if he goes bust Jai Bataya's head, he's great too. And if Jai Bataya busts Zerto's head, he's great too. That's what unifications mean, man. We're going to put some respect on it. Now, unifications aren't the only way to be great. And I would say that because you unify, depends on how you got it, your method of obtaining the extra belts, it might come into consideration when considering your greatness, consideration when determining your greatness. But that's the way to greatness, bro. We better stop that. That's what unifications mean, bro. That means you beat another champion. You better stop it. You better stop it. Man, that's basketball. Y'all be hating, man. Stop it, bro. Y'all be hating, man. Y'all be hating, man. That's all I'm damn saying. AJ and they're easy. Wilder 2, Fury 2. Facts. Greatness. Stop it, bro. I always call Wilder great. I call AJ great too, and I'm not even a big AJ fan. AJ put them butts in them seats. You better stop playing. A lot of people are boxing in Britain again because of AJ. You better stop playing, man. I have to disagree with this one. All of them was great because they tried to win. Not Sugar Take didn't even try. How he done try, bro? He's a champion. He's a multi-division champion. What is the difference between him and Shakur, bro? You have no problem calling Shakur great, so why don't you call Tank great? They're both multi-division champions. I don't understand. 3 division champions, right? Both of them, right? Am I tripping? Or are you giving Shakur credit because he says he wants to fight Tank? Well, then you got to give Tank credit for saying he wanted to fight Lomachenko. What's the difference? What's the difference? Zordo fought a great and lost 12. Zip him up. He did lose to Bivol, but we can't lose and be great. That's what we doing? Oh, but we want to blame Mayweather. We want to say, oh, it's the Mayweather era. We're the one. We want to say, oh, Mayweather, it's Mayweather's fault that everybody wants to be undefeated. No, it's our fault because we can't we can't call a fighter great because they have 1 loss. Canelo's a face of boxing. He got 2 of them things. You could argue that he has 3 of them things because, you know, I like Canelo, but I'll be the first to tell you, I think Erislandy Lara beat Cinnamon. It is what it is, bro. I like boxing, bro. But Cinnamon's still great despite that. You know, I think Lara beat Cinnamon, but that don't mean that Cinnamon ain't great. So Zerto, you know, he did get packed up by Bivol, but hey, Canelo got packed up by Bivol too, and Beterbiev got packed up by Bivol too. So maybe Bivol's just great. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing not great by losing to another great. You feel me? Errol Spencer's great too. He got smoked by Terrence Bud Crawford. He's still great. Come on, man. He got Lamont Peterson to prove that he's great. He got Sean Porter on his resume to prove that he's great. You feel me? Mikey Garcia on his resume to prove that he's great. Mikey Garcia's great too. Shout out to Mikey Garcia. He's great too. Come on, man. We got to stop that, man. We got to stop that, man. Yeah, facts. I keep... Hey, Southwest Nights, let me get up out of here, man. I'm supposed to big gone, man. Nah, Shakur good, not great. Yeah, okay. And he trying to prove it out. I want everybody to remember that Oster said Shakur is good, not great. So next time we have a conversation, because you know that's gonna come back and bite him in his butt. Make sure you remember that. Oster right here in real time on June 27th to gangbang on Tank. He told me that Shakur is not great. That's the first time I ever heard him say that. We didn't remember that. We remember Shakur is not great according to Oster. To me, Crawford is very, very good and great for his division. Oh, Crawford is great. There's no debating that. Now, when he kicked Canelo ass, then my boy will reach greatness. That's crazy. Yeah. You're wilding. Terrence Crawford could not fight another day for the rest of his life. He is bona fide greatness. Not only is he great, all-time great. ATG, all-time great. Terrence Bud Crawford is an all-time great. He's already legendary status. What are we talking about? What are we talking about, bro? See, this is how hard Oster tried to hate on Tank, bro. He just told me that Crawford is very, very good. Stop it, bro. The man is undisputed in 2 weight divisions and undefeated while doing it. What? Daya Inouye's an all-time great too. Alexander Usyk's an all-time great too. Come on, bro. Stop it, bro. Stop it, bro. Yeah, you wildin'. You're wildin'. Tank wasn't the man in the division like AJ though. I don't know if AJ was a man in the division though. I'm not doubting that Tank wasn't the man in the division. I'm questioning if AJ was ever the man in his division. When can you give me a time span on that, Ty? AJ was a man in his division. I never heard him say Shakur was great though. Cap. That's cap. That's cap. Look at the Shakur friends uniting. Come on, man. Look at the Shakur clan uniting. Mikey Garcia in there. Talk to him, pugilism. Come on now. Nope, because Loma, Tio, and Devin and Rolly never protected house money on the scale of Tank. Talk to him, pugilism. Tank will get recognized for protecting the house money for 5 years straight. If we use the LeBron analogy, Loma let Salido, Tio, Devin, Tank, Rolly be great. No, that's different. No, that's different. That's like Ty said, that's basketball. Shot to Ty. So it's a little different, you know, and it's a team sport. And boxing, they have so many belts, you know what I'm saying? Ryan and Rolly was for a belt. So you can't really protect the house as far as you can protect your belt and your sanctioning body. You can't really protect it elsewhere unless you're unified. And even then, you know, they might put you in positions where you have to fight a mandatory that doesn't really make sense at the time from an economic standpoint and money standpoint. So it's a little different, but you know, I'm not saying that he got to stop everybody from getting belts. Come on now. He said, guys, get me out of here. Get me out here. He said, help, get me out here. He said, facts, help me get, I can't read. He said, facts, help me out here. I never said Shakur was great. Okay. My bad. All right. You know what I'm talking about? Things Tank will never do. He said, Tank's still the man. Every fighter that turned it down to take offer. They get called up. They sticking with the payday. Come on now. Come on now. Frank Martin was an undefeated fighter when Tank beat him, man. Stop it, man. Stop it, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I'm about to go ahead and call it, man. I love the conversation, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Tank ain't a great, so let y'all tell it. Tank's not a great, let y'all tell it. All right. Terrence Crawford is crazy. I want to see what Kendrick got to say about that Terrence Crawford, though. Yeah. Speak on that. You had your boys back for Shakur. Have his back for Terrence Crawford. I bet you won't do that. This man said Terrence Crawford ain't great. Boy, what we have, because you see, that's what happens when you hate. It makes you say all types of crazy things. You know what I'm saying? I might get passionate, I might get intense, I might get loud, but I ain't never been no hater. I don't get emotional now. That man said Terrence Crawford ain't no great. He very, very good. Bitch, please. Boy, stop. For we have become partakers of Christ if we hold fast the beginning of our confidence firm to the end. Amen. Amen, bro. Stop it, bro. Terrence Crawford got Sean Porter to say he's great. He got Victor Postal undefeated to say he great. He got gosh dang Kyle Velasquez to say he great. He got Ricky Burns to say he great. He got Errol Spence to say he great. He got Kell Brook to say he great. He got Amir Khan to say he great. But y'all better stop it, man. Y'all better. You just said that. You said if he beats Canelo, that's greatness. See, this is why I said take a screenshot, people. You see how that goes? Look, Oster just tried to tell me he didn't say that Bud's not great. You literally just said that if he beats Canelo, that's greatness. You said he's very, very good and he's great for his division. What division? 147, 140, 154? What division is he great? He's great specifically for his division. No, he's great in boxing. Come on, bro. Oster, stop it, bro. That's why you got to take a screenshot, bro. Because they'll say one thing and then they'll switch it up and say they ain't say it. You just said it. 3 belts unified and also had the IBO while being the money man in boxing. Nobody grossed more revenue during his run. That's true. Yeah, he was unified 3 belts. That's a fact. I give you that. I capitulate that. You know what I'm saying? Tyson Fury is still out there though. But from a unification standpoint, that's a good point. I agree with that. You said great for the division, meaning I'm saying he's great. He's an all-time great. He's the great for boxing. Terrence Crawford's greatness is not division specific, because if you're saying he's great, if you're saying it's division specific, what division? He was undisputed in 2 of them. So he's at least, it can't just be great for the division, singular. It has to be at least plural, because he was undisputed in 140 and undisputed at 147. And now he's a champion in 154. On his debut at a new weight class, he fought an undefeated champion and took that belt from Israel Madrimov. So he's at least great in 2 divisions. So I'm going to need you to add an S to that, playboy. I'm going to need you to make that thing plural, playboy. You feel me? You said great for a division. What division? I said if he hasn't fought. Exactly. So if his greatness is contingent on a fight that hasn't happened yet, that means, my brother, you're saying he's not greatness. He has not achieved greatness because you're saying it's contingent on a fight that has yet to transpire. So if you said, I said if he beats Canelo, that's greatness, then that fight hasn't happened yet. So he's not greatness. That's what you're saying, right? Where am I confused? Where am I wrong? I mean, in our retirement, beating Canelo, is his definitely greatness? Is his definitive greatness? Yeah, I disagree with that. He could lose to Canelo. He's still greatness to me. And I don't think that Crawford greatness is contingent on anything. He could not fight Canelo. He could beat Canelo. He could lose to Canelo. He could get knocked out by Canelo. He's still great. That does not erase what he did to Errol Spence. It does not erase that he was undisputed at 147. It does not erase that he was undisputed at 140. It does not erase that he got a new belt at a new division against the undefeated champion at 154. It does not erase that. Yeah, and I think that's a problem. And I'm not talking about you, Oster. I'm not saying that you're saying it does. I'm just speaking in general. I don't think that when you lose, Errol Spence is great, bro. I don't care how he could have got whooped in 1 round by Terrence Crawford. He didn't get whooped in 1 round by Danny Swift Garcia. He didn't get whooped in 1 round by Yordenis Ugas. He didn't get whooped in 1 round by Sean Porter. He didn't get whooped in 1 round by Lamont Peterson. He didn't get whooped in 1 round by Kell Brook. I could go on and go on and go on. He didn't get whooped in 1 round by Mikey Garcia. He got whooped in 1 round by one person. I'm saying hypothetically if he got whooped by Terrence Crawford. To me, a bad performance does not dictate your career or supplant your accomplishments in your career, or supersede, I should say. So, no, we got to stop that, bro. We blame that on Floyd Mayweather era. No, that's us. We think that, if you lose once, you're bad. Or somehow you're greatness. No, bro. No, Sugar Ray Robinson wasn't undefeated. Sugar Ray Leonard wasn't undefeated. Canelo's a face of boxing. He's not undefeated. Oscar De La Hoya wasn't undefeated. Sugar Shane Mosley wasn't undefeated. Nah, bro. Muhammad Ali wasn't undefeated. Nah, bro. Bud could go in there and get smoked, and he could not last 30 seconds against Canelo. He's still great. What are we talking about? Tyson Fury's still great. Shout out to Ty. Tyson Fury was never truly available to AJ during his run at heavyweight. Tyson Fury lost to Usyk twice. He's still great. Usyk could lose to Daniel Dubois. Still great. Inoue could lose to Nakatani. Still great. He can't lose to MJ Akmadaliev, though. I ain't gonna lie. You lose to MJ Akmadaliev, and you look a little shaky, baby. You know what I'm talking about? Just because, you know, he's been avoided, my boy Akmadaliev. But, you know, but all jokes aside, he could lose to Akmadaliev. Still great. In my personal opinion. I'm just saying, beat Canelo, we have no more talk. That's pure greatness. I agree with that, too. But we should. The only people that have talks about Bud's greatness are casuals. Facts. The NBA draft was lit. Duke went crazy in their starting lineup. Yeah, I saw, like, did they have like 3 players in like the top 10 or something like that? No, Tyson wasn't. He was retired. Ducky punched me. Yep, he definitely had the PEDs. That's true. You right, Ty. You right. He was still available though. He wasn't available, but he was available. You know what I'm talking about? Deontay Wilder, all the boys. Luis Ortiz, King Kong Ortiz available. Man got caught on PEDs and retired until Wilder drug. That's a fact. No, you're right. Tried to cherry pick it out of shape cokehead off the couch. That's true. You're right about that. I mean, I think you exaggerating on my boy Wilder a little bit, but yeah, definitely that's what it looked like. I agree. You could put it like that. I disagree, but you could put it like that. But is it great for his division or division? However, to me, beating Canelo won't take as great. However, beating Canelo's undisputed greatness. Okay, I agree with that. I agree with that. But yeah, man, y'all can hop in the Discord, man. Hop in the background. BTF members chat is open. I'm about to go ahead and get off, man. Get me some food. We will be back at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good Lord willing. Shout out to those that show some love in the super chat. Dropping the graffiti on the chat walls. My guy Candy Slim 501 with the $5. Big Dog Willie. What's his name? Big Dog Willie. What the? Big Dog Willie Kang Goat. Wait, Big Dog Willie Khan Goat. W2. What the heck is your name, bro? Big Dog Willie Khan Goat. Oh, TWT. Yo, shout out to my guy, Big Dog Willie Khan Goat TWT. Shout out to my guy, Big Dog Willie with the $5, man. Appreciate the love. Shout out to all the members, man. I appreciate y'all rocking. Hey, King Kong did pop for PEDs as well. A food package, doc. I'm sleep. Hey, man. Hey, hook your boy up. You feel me? Shout out, hey, your boy be hungry, man. Hook your boy up with the food package. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? Hit the boy Cash App. You know what I'm talking about? Get your boy some food, man. Your boy be hungry. But I appreciate y'all rocking as always, man. Shout out to y'all. I'll be back on at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good Lord willing for the Christian and Billy versus Masih Sulecki fight. And then we're going to roll right into the Deontay Wilder versus Tyrrell Herndon fight, man. Y'all don't forget to smack that like button. I had a great time. Shout out to the callers that called in. It was Kendrick and my guy Patrick. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the 2 callers. Appreciate y'all. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Smack that like button. It's free. But most importantly, remember, with God, we can do anything. Without God, we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace. Shout out to Oster for pushing my buttons.
From the hood to college, both
Oscar too.
Had to meet 6 degrees between us, so cold we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.